From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
It's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Shem's so proud. Shem's so proud of his Wordle today that he spoiled it on TikTok before 7 a.m.
I just went ahead and deleted it.
Did you?
I did it. I did it.
Shem was so proud of himself.
Damn, what happened?
Oh,
He-
man.
How did you even
he-
spoil it? Like, did you say the word?
No. He posted before 7 a.m. where he put his whole, because Shem got it in 2 lines today, right?
Oh, bravo, sir,
bravo.
bravo.
I know. I got to
Thank
applaud
you.
that, right?
Thank you,
And he was so proud that he did one of those videos where you put your whole puzzle as your background, right?
Okay.
But only Shem didn't put what his score was. He put his first word guess and his second word guess. Like you see the whole puzzle, and he's just like in front of it dancing, doing one of those, right?
Yeah.
And so you put that before 7 a.m. What did you get killed immediately?
Oh, man, right away. I had like 4 or 5 comments. Like, I haven't even done it yet. What the hell's wrong with you? No, but keep in mind, none were like impressive. Great job. You got it in 2 tries.
I hate
It was
you.
just immediately, I hate you. Ugh.
And we got to go. I got to touch on this again, too, because we had accused Dammit Maurie of cheating at Wordle, where I think that Maurie goes and Googles the word first and then tries to like sort of go backwards and figure out how to do the word, right? Which is quite difficult to do. So I'm looking at Maurie's Wordle from 2 days ago, right? And first of all, Maurie gets to the 4th line, right? So the 3rd line, Maurie puts mitts, M-I-T-T-S. So he knows the M is in the right place. The I is wrong. The T is right, but not in the right place. There's another T and then the S. So Maurie's 4th attempt was month, M-O-N-T-H. So the M is in the right place. The O is in the right place. The N is in the word. The T is in the word, but not in the right place. And there's no H. So his 4th word was month. Maurie's 5th word was also month.
You think if you typed it out twice, it'd be right?
Okay, so Maurie already knows that the N and the T are not in the right place.
Yeah.
His word after that, he puts them in the right place. He keeps them where
In
they
the same
are.
space.
In the same spot. And then Maurie's 6th attempt. So he knows that the N and the T are in the word, but not in the right spots. So then we get to word 6, okay? Maurie's final line. And again, I have to go back. So word number 4 was month. Word number 5 was also month. Okay? I cannot stress this enough. The M is in the right spot. The O is in the right spot. Maurie knows that there is an N and a T that are not in the right spot. Maurie's 6th attempt was the word mouth. Okay? Maurie knew there was an N in the word. For Maurie's final attempt, he didn't use the N.
Come on, man.
Okay?
That's not how you play Wordle.
Okay, and just to recap again, okay, for people who are good at Wordle, just imagine this, okay? Maurie's 4th attempt was month. There was an M-O-N-T. That was Maurie's 4th attempt. Maurie's 5th attempt was also the word month. M-O-N-T-H. So he knows there's an M, O, there's an N, there's absolutely a T. Maurie's final word was mouth. M-O-U-T-H. He got rid of the N. Like, how do you want to win?
Yeah. Even with cheating, you still get it
Yes, you still can't
completely
win.
wrong. Come on, man.
And also, what is the appropriate time to post publicly for Wordle if you want to let people know?
I'd say the afternoon.
Afternoon, yeah.
Like I guess most people will, like, as soon as they get up, they try, right?
Most people, yeah.
Listen, if you get it in 2, you can post whatever the hell you want,
Yeah,
right?
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
You have a sound that you make when you are eating a meal that you're thoroughly enjoying? And when you take that first bite, you can be starving. You take that
like
first bite.
like
a moan.
Like a, No, I don't know if I do moan. I don't know.
I think most people
Hold on.
do.
Just say, like, let me just wait.
Like, if I
let me
have-
get into my own head here. You talk. Let me get into my own head.
Let's say in front of you, you have like the tastiest burger that you just finished making. It's got all your favorite fixins. On the side, you have fries and
Gotcha.
also wings.
Go
and you
on.
have like 4 different dips.
Okay.
Your absolute favorite dips.
Yeah.
And you are, you
down.
finish a hard
Am
day.
I
of work.
alone, or are there any other people in the room?
You are alone.
Okay, so my kid's not stealing my wings.
Nobody is touching that food.
Okay.
And you just came off of like the hardest working day and you sit down
Yes,
and
sir.
you not even at the table, at your favorite spot on the couch,
Yes, sir.
coffee table in front of you.
Love that.
You got all the food there.
All of it.
Put on your favorite
Okay.
reality prison show on Netflix.
Yes, sir.
World's Toughest Prisons. You're ready to have a night.
Perfect night. The
You
perfect
take
night.
that first bite
Yes.
of
yes,
that burger.
Yes.
And you say what?
Probably nothing.
Oh.
No, I will. No, no. I am trying to think. I think that I don't do a moan. Like, I don't go, like, I don't do that. I think that if I took a bite of something that I really liked, I think my sound is,
That's mine.
is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were made for
Do
each other,
it.
bro.
Do it now.
So if I take a bite,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay. So
like
let me,
that.
Okay.
Or sometimes,
Yeah.
it depends on what the food is. Burgers, pizza, any type of pasta does it for me.
Okay.
right?
So go now with
or
your sound.
wings, and I will
Yeah.
go, Or I will go, yeah.
Hold on now.
So I'll take a bite. I'll go,
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, you
or,
drag it out.
Yeah. Or it'll be like a quick, like,
See, that's me right there. Okay, so
Right?
you go long, I'm going to go short. Okay, that says nothing about us as individuals or men. I'm just saying that for the purposes of this, shut up. You go long, I'm going to go short. Okay. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's what it would sound like if we were eating together. In case anybody's wondering.
because this guy went online and asked this question. He's got a ton of replies, right?
Yeah.
He goes, my wife often moans when she eats, especially when she's really hungry. The moans start a little loud and then more sensual, and it continues through dessert.
Interesting.
I used to find it annoying that she moaned when she ate, but now I find it kind of funny. Does anyone else do this, or is my wife a little wacky?
Just like constant moaning throughout
Yes.
eating, though, huh? Like constant moaning. Like it doesn't stop. Like at every bite, you're moaning?
Listen to this. A bunch of replies came through. My grandfather hums continuously throughout the meal process, from preparation all the way through digestion.
From preparation?
Yeah, he emits a low grumbling / purring. It's somewhere right above, just barely audible, and seemingly tuned for the express purpose of driving me into a long, murderous fury.
Yes, I can only
After
imagine.
living with him for 6 months, I can no longer eat with him in the same room. Another person said, I have only moaned once when I ate food, and that was when I went to have an expensive dinner with my whole family for my grandmother's celebration.
Okay.
Started with chicken liver parfait with olive rolls. My God, it was the greatest thing I've ever tasted.
This person is, you and I would not be friends.
Another person said, my brother mumbles like a disturbed cat when he eats.
Really, huh?
So damn it, Maurie made some cold calls across the country to find out from people if they make their good food sounds.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? It's Dammit Maury with the Roz and Mocha Show. How's your day going?
I'm good, Maury. How are you?
Great, thank you. Here's the question. We all make a sound when we eat something really good. Give me your good food sound.
Excellent. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. What were you eating in your mind?
Maybe lobster with butter.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, so what is your good food sound?
My good food sound. Well, it's so funny that you asked me that. Just we were celebrating a birthday and we were having this like delicious cookie cake. And my family was like, do you know what sound you make while you're eating that? I said, well, no, but it's my favorite. So what sound do I make? They were like, you kind of mumble a little bit while you're eating. And I go, well, what do you mean mumble? And they all did it in front of me. And then I took another bite and did it. And it was like, oh my gosh, here's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Taking a bite, it just goes.
That's so weird. Couldn't be friends with this woman.
Are you married?
No.
Do you think that's why you're single?
Oh, jeez, that's harsh.
Some have speculated, yep.
Wow.
Hey, it's Dan and Maury with the Roz and Mocha Show. Okay, when you're eating something really good, what is your good food sound?
Well, you know what? I'm actually eating dinner right now. So my brother he made some chicken tacos.
Oh.
I haven't even taken a bite yet.
Okay, take a bite
he's a
with me
chef.
right now. Take a bite right now, and let's hear a good food sound.
Okay, in 1 second. This is really good. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm like stuffing my face.
Do you make a good food sound?
If it's very tasty, like and very seasoned well, sometimes my sound usually go like the Campbell soup commercial. Good, like it's like one of those.
Take another bite. Take another bite. We all make sounds when we eat something tasty. What is your good food noise? Do you have a good food noise?
So when I'm eating a food, and I'm Italian, so any food is freaking delicious to me, but usually what I'll do, and I did this on a first date once, and he looked at me like I had 4 eyes, but I sat back and I go, He looked at me like I go, okay, hold on. I kind of looked at my surroundings and I was like, you know what? That was not the right thing to do. And I had to bounce back from that, but it's kind of like a
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Let me get you this story here. So they asked people, homeowners, right, about various types of tools and what they felt comfortable using.
Okay.
Only 52% of people said they're confident using what? A tool.
Oh, like
only 52%. Only half of the people said that they were confident using what?
Can opener.
Confident using.
No, like tool, Maury, not
like a hammer? They're confident using
not
a hammer.
appliance tool. So only 52% of people said that they were confident using a what? So you say hammer, Mocha.
Yeah.
Hammer
or power drill.
Power drill, Mocha. Okay.
Floor sander. Floor sander.
Floor sander.
No. Power drill.
I would say a whole lot less than 52% of people would feel confident using a floor sander.
Yeah.
So you say a drill.
I'm going to say power drill. Yes.
Power drill. Okay.
I agree with that. I would.
You say drill. Shem, do you have a guess on this? When it comes to tools?
Let's say a plunger.
A plunger?
What?
Tool?
Yeah.
That's only, okay. Only 52% of people say they are confident using
any of the
a plunger.
Answers we gave correct?
No.
I've never used a plunger.
Only 52% of people polled said that they're confident using a screwdriver.
What? Oh, stop it. Only confident using a screwdriver? It's like the easiest tool ever.
Thank you. Screwdriver was also number one in the most confident people felt using a tool.
It's hard to find the right size.
Only 47% of people said that they felt comfortable using pliers.
What?
Followed by 46% of people who said that they felt comfortable using a wrench. Now, when it comes to, these are very basic tools, by the way, people. You could make these out of sticks. Okay.
Also basic tools that every homeowner should have laying around the house.
Thank you. Now, when it comes to being able to do things around the house, okay, when it comes to home repairs is what they call this. Keep in mind, I'm using this very, liberally when I say home repairs.
Okay.
Okay, what is the number one thing on the list that people feel confident about doing around the house when it comes to home repairs?
Changing a light.
Mocha, what do you say? Light bulb. First of all, changing a light bulb is not a home repair.
No, I meant changing a light.
No, I'm saying that's what people are probably going to say is a home repair, is changing a light bulb.
Right. Mocha's right on this, Maury. Changing a light bulb. Now, here's the top 5 DIY things we do ourselves, okay?
Okay.
Now, again, when I say DIY, I am being very, very generous with the term DIY home repairs, okay? So changing a light bulb is on there.
Is changing a light fixture on there?
No, not even close.
Swapping out a toilet on there?
Not even close.
What?
Not even
Is
close.
Patching drywall on there?
Not even close.
Changing a door handle, a doorknob.
Not even close.
Are you serious?
No. Okay, so here are the top 5 things that we're proud that we can do ourselves around the house.
Oh my God. Okay, go.
Changing a light bulb.
Yeah.
Cleaning out the dryer vent.
Oh, no, that should just be a weekly occurrence.
Swapping out the filter on an air conditioner.
No, that's every 3 months.
Tightening the hinge on a door.
No.
Oh, I'm so proud when I do that.
My favorite one, testing the smoke alarm.
Twice a year?
That's a button.
Yeah.
So now pushing a button is a DIY home project?
No, sorry. I'm sorry. You are not going to go on YouTube and find DIY.
Okay, now.
Testing.
Thank you.
Testing it. I would say, DIY, how to swap out a toilet.
Yes.
Right? How to change a sink. How to
Yes.
do, fix a faucet or
Yes.
swap out a faucet.
Yes. Now, 1 in 3 people also said they think that they could unclog a sink.
Think? Come on, people.
29% of people said that they could locate a stud in the wall. Maury.
Look right over here.
Maurie's like, I got him hidden all behind the drywall.
How do you find a stud in the wall, Moore?
Use a stud finder, my friend.
Where do you find that, Moore?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Kirsten Bell on Ellen today and talking about her relationship with Dax Shepard. And they have difficult conversations. And I don't mean difficult conversations as in things that are going to take a lot of planning, a lot of sort of emotional resources. They have difficult conversations because I mean difficult conversations to bring up to the person you're in a relationship with. So they're talking about crushes and how Dax and Kirsten Bell have these open conversations about their other crushes.
Oh.
And so listen to the way that Kirsten Bell explains it.
You were here recently with your husband, Dax, and professing your love for lots of other people. You have a lot of crushes.
I mean, who doesn't? If you don't have a lot of crushes, you are lying. I'm just going to say that right now. He has a lot of crushes, too. We just are, I guess now, one of the only couples that talk about our crushes with each other.
And I think that's healthy.
I do, too. And some people think it's weird, but I'm like, but no, there's a trust factor. I love him, but I'm married. I'm not dead. Other people are attractive.
So here's my problem with this is that in order to have this conversation, in order to sit down and have the crushes conversation with your partner, you both ahead of time have to know how the other one feels about having this conversation. This isn't something that you can just bring up without knowing 100% the way that your partner's going to react. You can't throw the bomb into the middle of the room of, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we discussed our crushes?
Right.
If you don't know that your partner is also interested in discussing crushes. That is a very dangerous thing to do, Maury.
Oh my gosh, we talk about it at home all the time. Matthew knows that I have a crush on Anthony from Queer Eye, and I know that he has a crush on Sean Desmond.
Anybody else?
Oh, the list goes on and on. I just didn't think you had a lot of time.
The list goes on
Hey,
and
man,
on.
we got lots of time. Who else you want to shout out?
But you knew, Maury. You've always known, I guess, that you and Matthew were these type of people where you could just openly have these conversations about crushes.
But Kristen Bell is right, though. It's if you don't have other crushes, you're lying. It is everybody has them.
But then who's the one that initiates?
But that's the thing.
You have to know you have to know your partner.
My husband initiated it.
It's not about having crushes, I don't think. I think it's about initiating that conversation where that can go so wrong on so many levels.
You have to do it from day one.
From day one?
Oh my God.
You have to do it from day one.
Y'all are doing.
Do you and Jenna Mocha talk about crushes at all?
But why do you go no like it's weird?
I think part of with Kirsten Bell and Dax Shepard, and then also with you, damn it, Maury, and your husband, damn it, Matthew, right? You're playing in a pool, or you're talking about this pool where everybody in the conversation, you kind of have easy access to those people. So the conversation is a little bit more than just celebrity crush.
No, let's not say nobody's going out on nobody's going to cheat. Let's just say crushes. Do you and Jenna, your
No.
wife, you don't discuss
Do you
crushes?
guys? I don't?
No, we don't at all.
I think you also
At
have to
all.
think that
I'm not comfortable with that.
Me neither.
And
Like,
if,
you
and if
have to-
Catherine wanted to, I think I'd be really crushed.
Yeah.
because then I would feel that I had to, right? Like if she started going on about her crushes.
Oh, I thought you meant like insecure.
No, like I would be insecure, right? But
completely.
like if Catherine decided one day to start talking about crushes and going off on crushes and stuff, right? And then she was like, well, you have to have some, then I would feel
No,
pressured.
but if you're watching a movie and she sees George Clooney and she's like, oh, that is an attractive man.
I swear to God, I am not even lying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am not even lying. In all the years that Catherine and I have been together, we've never sat down and watched something where somebody on the screen has elicited the response from one of us being like, oh, they're so hot. Not
Yeah,
once.
never.
Not once
It'll
from
come up,
either of us.
Like, I know Jenna will have a conversation with like one of her friends, and she may tell me about it after.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that long ago that she said to one of our friends, Julie, they were talking about Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And Julie was like, you know,
Jamie.
Casey.
Yeah.
Like, Casey really does it for me.
Yeah.
And then Jenna was like, yeah, no, I'm like in a rip. Right?
Wow. Yeah.
Right? Like, rip.
Yeah.
Like the man on the show. You want to fight someone? Fight me.
I'd sleep in the garage
Dog,
that night.
5 days later, I'm at Mark's looking at Carhartt jackets
exactly.
and pants and fitting for a cowboy hat online.
I know. It's you
I can't stack up to somebody like
oh my
Rip
God.
on Yellowstone.
I would be crushed if I heard that conversation where she was like, so and so does it for me, especially if it was like a private conversation with a friend that maybe I wasn't like supposed to hear the whole thing. I would
but
just
she
be
always
like,
comes home to you.
No, but that's not even remotely cool. Who still thinks like that? That's
what Matthew says. Like,
I'm the waste.
Matthew's like, oh, you know, like if I went for dinner with Sean Desmond, I'll still come home to you.
Like that's like when
'cause you guys share a mortgage.
wives were forced to put up with their lousy husbands and they had to adopt some sort of narrative and attitude of I don't care where he goes and gets his appetite as long as he comes home for dinner. You know what I mean? Like that's no way to live, man. It's no way to live.
Boyfriend and I talk about crushes all the time.
Really?
We also have an open relationship.
Oh, well, there you go.
I did the other day about Josh from Blue's Clues.
Come on now.
He's a nice guy. He sings. He plays guitar. He loves his Lola. Let me see here.
Somebody said Enrique Iglesias.
My husband and I have always talked about our crushes. We also point out other attractive people of the opposite sex to one another.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, but just like even when you're out in the world, like if it's a stranger, like if you're at like a Starbucks and stuff like that.
Maurie and Matthew have done that.
Did. We were
You guys do
watching
that all the time.
We were watching Cheer on Netflix, and one of the guys took their shirt off, and Matthew was like,
No.
"Oh,
I don't
hello."
mean on television more. I mean like if you
and-
guys are out in a restaurant
yes,
and like your
down by
waiter
the
is
beach.
super hot.
If we're in the summertime on the beach, if somebody has their
Yeah.
shirt off, Matthew would be like, "Oh, wow."
Oh God, I would die.
Can I read this one
Yeah,
text before we go to
please.
this next song?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Paul. So my wife has a crush on her gynecologist.
Oh no.
Paul,
really,
man, why you gotta
huh?
put your real name out there?
Yeah, I know. Hey, Paul, by the way.
Paul.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Doing a lot of reading over here, this guy trying to figure out just how healthy or unhealthy it is to have those conversations about crushes with your partner. Because Kirsten Bell was talking about how she and Dax Shepard have all sorts of crushes and they discuss them with each other. And I was like, man, but that's a real hard thing to bring up for the very first time. If you don't know how the other person in the relationship is going to react, like if you don't know if they're receptive to that kind of conversation, that's like you may be stepping in it at that point.
This person did not say who their crush is, but I'll read you this text.
Yeah.
Hey, Roz and Mocha. My husband knows who my all-time crush is. I often say, if he comes knocking at my door, I am gone.
Wow.
That's taking it a little too far.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would be so, like, I think that I would be put in a position where I would then force myself to have to take part rather than willingly taking part. You know what I mean? Like I would
Right.
be doing it against my will just to sort of make her happy. I don't know. That's a tough thing to do. But maybe a crush is a crush, but then it still takes up space in your head and you're still thinking about it and all this stuff.
Jansen, what's your story?
Yeah, so my wife knows I have crushes. We don't discuss them openly, but she knows because I follow them on social media all over.
Now,
I've also named my my vehicles after my crushes.
So how many vehicles do you have, and what are their names?
So I've had, I'm on my third truck. So my first truck I named after Anna, as in from Anna Kournikova.
Okay.
And then my second truck I named after Kate, under Kate Beckinsale.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And now my third truck is Black Widow, because obviously she's black, but also because of ScarJo.
Okay, right. So
she knows that I have questions, but we don't discuss it openly. But at the same time, I don't think it's weird if we were to discuss it openly.
But you don't have like a bicycle named Deborah who works down in the wood department Home Depot, right? Your crushes are all sort of celebrity based, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
No, you don't have crushes on somebody that that is in your sort of world.
Oh, I kind of do, but I haven't told her.
Oh, you don't talk about those. Okay.
Those are my bikes.
Oh,
I name them bikes.
I gotcha.
Anybody?
Gotcha.
I don't know what I should ask.
What?
Anybody you work with?
No. This is there used to be. I used to go to a salon, and there was this girl that used to color my hair.
Oh, yeah.
We're friends at IG, right?
Always the way.
But I'm always like liking her post.
Yeah,
And does your wife know that you like her posts?
No, but she knows. She asked me before. She goes, "How do you know her?" I go, "Oh, she's the one that used to color my hair before."
Yeah, because she touches you, right? That's why she gets all up in there, makes your head feel good.
Damn, Jansen.
Damn,
Jansen with the good hair.
I know,
bro. We appreciate you.
There,
Have a great day, man.
All right, brother. Later.
All right, Tanya. Welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show.
Hi.
Tell Roz the text that you just sent in to us, please.
Okay, so husband and I have been married for 15 years. We have 3 kids, and we have like our 3 famous people of free passes.
Okay.
So, like, if, for example, I'm at a Justin Timberlake concert and he sees me and he's like, "Oh, hey, want to come backstage?" That's my free pass because he's one of my 3.
What would you do backstage with Justin Timberlake?
We would just have like a coffee.
No, but like when you say free passes, what does that mean? Free passes means, though. Like, are you talking like you guys have free passes for celebrity adultery?
Not for like real life people, because that's like not cool. Highly unlikely.
Okay, so Justin Timberlake is on your list.
Justin Timberlake. Who else?
Who else?
Yeah, and then so my list is like kind of interchangeable. So I have like Rip, 100%.
Oh, Rip from Yellowstone. Yo, you have to fuck my wife for him.
Yeah.
And then Thor, but only when he's Thor.
Okay.
So Chris Hemsworth,
but
when he's
only
all out.
Thor.
But only when he's Thor.
Okay, short hair Thor or long hair Thor?
Long hair Thor.
Long hair Thor. Okay. And
Right.
what? And does your husband resemble any of these gentlemen?
Yeah, probably like a Rip.
Okay, that's just because he wears like jeans.
No, he's got like the beard.
Okay.
No cowboy hat, but
Gotcha.
like we can work with it.
Wow. Okay. So
Right.
you have free passes, is what you guys say. So you just sit there
But
and
like,
talk. But do you like sit there on the couch and talk about how hot Rip is to him? And he just like sits there and
I'll
says
say
what?
it.
But what does he
I'm
say?
like, oh, that Rip. It's. I don't know. We're just comfortable with each other. It's not like we're really going to go and do anything, but it's a fun thing. I think it's normal, but it's always been like we're just open with each other,
And he
right?
says, he says that to you, like he'll see somebody hot and go,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, they're so hot."
So like he loves Shakira. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah, I guess fair enough. I guess my point was that it's just a very difficult conversation to lead, to be the first one that initiates it. To be the first one that says, "Hey, let's start talking about who else we find attractive besides each other." I think unless you know
Right.
fully how that conversation is going to be taken by the person you're with, it's like you could be doing yourself some serious damage.
Like digging a grave. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Tanya, thank you so much. And dedication to your
No
boyfriend. We're going to play Shakira for him right now. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Later. Bye-bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
We're going to talk to a young lady named Liz White. She's on hold right now, and her story is incredible.
I've always thought that, when you go to an all-inclusive vacation, right, you start thinking, hey, I wonder if you could live at an all-inclusive resort, right? Like you wonder those. And then you start thinking other things when you start traveling, which is when you're young, you're like, hey, what could I go and just live in a seniors community somewhere in Florida, pay a little bit less in rent and not have to worry about anything? So Liz White was from Philadelphia. She's 30 and single, left Philly, moved to Florida to live at a seniors community.
Liz White, welcome to the Roz Mocha Show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Liz, I love everything about your story.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you were living in Philadelphia.
Yes.
What kind of place were you living in Philadelphia?
I was living in a high-rise downtown Philadelphia.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then, so what, your parents had retired to Florida? Is that the deal?
Yep, they're snowbirds, so they go down for the winter months.
And so you would go down and visit them, and then you just, fell in love with this retirement community?
Pretty much, yeah. My job went remote during COVID, and I just thought, why not make a change of scene?
So are you living in the same retirement place as your parents?
Yes, I am, which is just another level of hilarity.
That is another level. Okay, so what is the average age, if you know, of the people in that little retirement community and in the town you're in?
Yeah, I know in the town the average age is 66, and in the retirement community probably about the same.
What are the perks of living in a seniors retirement community?
Honestly, I think it's the community. Everyone is so nice to each other. Everyone is helpful to each other. And it's just been really nice, a slow change of pace in life from living in the city.
And when you see other, your neighbors, you see people walking around or people that live in your close vicinity, how do they treat you? Do they look at you as like a grandchild almost? Like they want to help you out, they want to take care of you, make sure that you're eating well, stuff like that?
Yeah, they really have taken me under their wing. They bring me like snacks during the day. They invite me to their dinner parties. So they've been super sweet.
One thing I love that you said is that one of the perks they get from having you around is that you're DTP.
Oh, yeah, down to puzzle.
Down to puzzle. Okay, so you're there, but I didn't know, like, are 30-year-olds generally allowed to move into seniors retirement communities?
Yeah, I think it depends where you live. In this building, it's not technically an age-restricted community.
Okay.
It just happens to be all people who are retired and over the age of 65.
What time's dinner?
For most people, it's no later than 5, but they do have a weekly dinner at 3 p.m. that I leave because I'm still working.
Yo, that is my kind of spot. So are you going to those 3 p.m. dinners?
No, because I'm at work, but sometimes they'll bring me leftovers.
Like, if you walk around that retirement community at, like 9:30, is your unit the only one that has a light on?
At night? Yeah.
Have you ever, and like no fault of your own, just like being a 30-year-old woman, right? Have you ever had like one of your neighbors knock on your door or maybe tell you the next day, like, dear, like last night we were trying to sleep and you were watching TV a little bit too loud, or you were listening to music a little bit too loud?
To be honest, that hasn't happened. I try not to disrupt things too much, but they did have a party a couple weeks ago where the cops were called because they were being too loud. So they can get even rowdier.
Really? What time? What time did this rager go till?
Well, it was 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've lived beside old people before.
Yeah.
Old people will never tell you you're being too loud because old people are deaf. You're the one that has to knock on their door because they're watching Wheel of Fortune at like full volume. You're single, correct?
I am, yes.
Now, are you actively dating? You're not interested in dating? And what is dating like for you down there?
Yeah, I'm dating. It's definitely a little harder. There are some more younger people who are, doing the same thing I did and moving down here, but I do have to set the radius out a little bit farther on the dating app.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Oh, right. So what's your long-term plan? I mean, obviously, we're all not going to be working from home forever. I mean, unless that's an option for you, if so, great. But is this your sort of long-term plan, or is this, a kind of great experience to just, get that closeness to your family for a couple of years?
We'll see what life brings me. I feel like I'm kind of peaking in life right now. Like most people wait till retirement to live, by a beach in such a nice little community, but I'm enjoying it for now.
Hey, are they gossipy down there? Like, are all those old people super busy? Like, if you bring a guy home, are you like the talk of the block?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Liz, what is like the biggest drama that you've come across between people who are living in this retirement community?
There are just always dramas about, different rules in the building, because it's an HOA community, so people always disagree on different rules.
And are there, please tell me that, like, at least there's, like, 2 old men that just hate each other but tolerate each other.
I have not seen that, but maybe behind closed doors.
I'm sure they do. Hey, has anybody ever had like an affair down there? Like, has there been that kind of drama?
Not that I've seen.
Oh, okay. You know what I mean? I just watch too many movies. You know what I mean? I like to think I know what goes on at the retirement community, but I really don't. I have no idea.
This is amazing, though. You're happy, though, right, Liz?
Yeah, I'm super happy. I'm living the dream.
God, that place must just smell like baking all the time.
It does smell pretty good.
Hey, are you like the young person? Because you're the young person there, or do they rely on you for like young people things? Like, are you the one that has to like go and reset somebody's Wi-Fi and stuff?
Yeah, I'm definitely the designated tech support for Wi-Fi.
I can't get the camera to work, Liz. Please help.
It's so great. Liz, your story is so fantastic. That's Liz White, who moved from Philadelphia down to a Florida retirement home. She's 30, by the way, and single, living with seniors.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Kathy, welcome to Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What in your life needs fixing?
How can I fix my relationship with my brother while not having one with his wife?
Oh, wow. That's tough. So you wrote us this. Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. My little brother got married. His wife and I used to get along, but she ended up kicking my sister and I out of the wedding. Then she disinvited our nieces and nephews, which caused a chain negative reaction, and no one is speaking. I just want to be able to figure out if I can salvage a relationship with my brother without having to have a relationship with her, or if I need to let it go now that he's married to her, and just continue on with my life. The one thing you didn't tell us in all of this is what happened.
So... They had a long engagement. They got engaged in 2018. The wedding was planned for April of 2021. In January of 2021, everything is still closed. She sent out a message asking, like, hey, it's really causing me a lot of stress that you don't have your dress yet for the wedding. And I think it would be best if you weren't a part of the ceremony in April, but like you could have a dress and be a part of the reception in November. Because of COVID, they were only going to have X amount of people at the ceremony, no reception. I had said, well, in a whole pandemic, you're concerned about one dress. What bothered me most was this was all done like via text message. Like she couldn't come and talk to me about it. There was no communication in between anything, right? It wasn't all the girls are getting together to go get their dress and you didn't come. That never happened. Everybody had to go out on their own. They were just given a color. So I was like, you know what? I'll make it super easy. You'll have no headache. I won't be attending.
So you opted out then. So she didn't actually kick you out of the wedding party. You opted out.
She kicked me out of the ceremony, like where they were going to sign the papers, the legal part, and then said, well, you can still be a part of it in the reception.
Okay, because you didn't have a dress?
Yeah, because I didn't have a dress.
Okay, and what did your brother say?
He said, I understand your decision.
And then you said what?
And I said, okay. Through all of it, that's all he's ever said. I understand your decision.
You understand, though, in this situation to your brother, you look like the petty one.
I guess, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were the thing that you don't want. And weddings are terrible at the best of times for dealing with these sort of like inner family relationships, right? And the one thing that you don't want from extended family, anybody who is not the groom or the bride, is you don't want that one person to show up who starts making your wedding all about them.
Mm-hmm.
And this looks like, as an outsider, they have pretty good reason to feel that you are that person. You're the person that made their wedding all about you.
I mean, I was there through everything. Like I was one of the first ones to go and try bridesmaids dresses on, but this was like 3 years before the wedding was even going to happen.
Sure.
So I didn't purchase at that time, and there was nothing ever communicated back and forth about the rush of it, right? I said I was able to get a dress, and the thing still was, you're causing a headache. I wasn't the only one. My sister was also asked to not be a part of the ceremony.
Okay, so I'll pause for a second. I don't know how you feel about this. I think that this is both of you guys digging your heels in, and the communication isn't happening because it's out of spite. As something so minor as all of this, like this should never have turned into what it is today. Ever, right? Nobody in that family should have let that disagreement or that situation become what it is today. Nobody. Everybody's to blame at that point.
Yeah.
Your brother, too, especially your brother.
You asked what my opinion is. My opinion is that you, Kathy, are at fault. Your brother is at fault, and your sister-in-law are at fault.
Yeah.
Because there was zero communication, like proper communication. And if you're going to move forward with this, and if this is still bothering you now, I don't know if your sister-in-law feels like it still bothers her. She still went ahead and got married to your brother. They're living their life, right? Like this may be very insignificant, but you don't know that because you're still carrying on to all of this, all the emotion that goes along with this, with zero conversation whatsoever. And I feel that with a simple conversation, you may find that it's not as big of a deal. It might not be as big of a deal. All you have to do is be courteous and be polite with one another. You don't have to be best friends, right? She's like a part of your family now, but I don't think you have to, you're not obligated to hang out with this woman every single time, but you should be courteous at least when you're in the same room. And I think the way you get to that point is by having an adult conversation face to face, not over text.
No, of course.
Yeah, you guys all need to apologize. You all need to admit that you were all acting stupid. If you can't fix this with a grown-up conversation between family members, then I don't know if you have the relationship with your brother that you thought you did.
No, for sure. I've spoken to my brother, so it's been like one line text. Like my birthday just passed, it was a one-line text, happy birthday, and the same on his end. So we've had conversation, but it's nothing. Like
So
we
listen,
don't know what's happening in each other's lives.
Okay, because you're not addressing it. Right?
It's awkward everywhere.
He thinks that everybody's blaming everybody else in all this. You're all to blame. All of you, right? Stop digging your heels into the ground. Get everybody together, sit in a room, open a bottle of wine, figure it out.
Yeah.
It's that easy. Believe me, it's that easy.
Okay.
Okay?
Get it done, Kathy.
Asking for help and admitting you're wrong are two very, very difficult things to do, and all of you have to do them.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, you
Getting
got
some
it.
tough love from Roz Mocha right now.
Jesus.
You were not prepared for the conversation to go this way.
I've been listening to you guys since I was 15 years old. I am not surprised how this conversation was going to go, gentlemen. I'm not surprised.
Oh, love you lots, Kathy. You take care.
Love you. Bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
Let me play this clip with Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland. So they're out promoting Uncharted, not Uncharted.
That's the sequel.
That's the sequel.
In development. Working title.
So Uncharted, I guess, is based on like a video game, right?
Yes.
Is that the deal? People love it. So the story goes that Mark Wahlberg gave Tom Holland like a massager. Like, you know those massage guns that you see people use that like really pound it out?
Yeah.
You know those things?
Yeah.
So I guess Wahlberg...
I've always wanted to try one.
I guess, yeah. I'm not. It looks like it hurts to me. I'm going to leave a bruise.
Yeah, I've heard. I love like a deep tissue heart massage. I heard those things are amazing.
Not for me. Well, you might like this then. So Wahlberg gave one to Tom Holland when they were shooting Uncharted.
Lucky.
But Tom Holland was unsure of exactly what it was and what Wahlberg's intentions were. And at the end, you tell me if Wahlberg's pissed or not and just making the best out of a situation that he doesn't want to be in.
Essentially, Mark Wahlberg was kind enough to give me a massage gun after I left his house. And he drove me back to my hotel, and at the time I was confused as to what kind of massage gun this was, having never seen one before, and I thought it was the type of self-pleasure, and I thought Mark Wahlberg was driving me back to my house for other reasons other than just being a gentleman.
Oh my God.
I didn't know you. It's Hollywood, baby. Who knows what's going to happen?
Oh, come on.
Wow. We've been talking about working out, fitness, recovery, all this stuff. You know, I have a company with Power Plate, and we make the best massage guns out there. So I was like, I want to gift you one. This would be great for your recovery and everything else. And I can't believe the whole time you're thinking that. And I'm just trying to have a conversation with you, talking about your family and talking about my kids and what their interests are.
Why do you think?
Oh, you got to get your head out of the gutter, buddy.
Oh,
okay.
I feel like
Because basically he was making a joke about the massage gun, but the joke was actually that he thought Mark Wahlberg was bringing him back to his house to get busy.
Yeah.
Right? And
here's a little help.
Yeah, and Mark Wahlberg is in that clip. If you listen to everything he says, like he uses every sort of "I'm not gay" without actually saying, "Why would you think I was gay?" Talking about my kids, my family.
This is a business that I'm invested in.
Jesus, you know what I mean? This is my business.
Yeah, I feel like
that's like a story. You know, Wahlberg is like, don't ever tell that story again.
yes,
Right?
I feel like this is a story that Mark Wahlberg has heard directly from Tom Holland.
Oh.
Once Tom Holland like realized that it's an actual massage gun.
Yeah.
And maybe in Mark Wahlberg's mind, okay, it's understood. Like we're never going to talk about this.
Yeah.
It was a misunderstanding.
I don't think he had heard it before.
You don't think so
No,
at all?
No.
Until now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, play it again. Play it again. Listen to Wahlberg.
Here's what I do think, because you asked me if I think that Mark Wahlberg was pissed.
Yeah.
And I think he was.
I think he's genuinely pissed
And
off.
like caught off guard. How dare you, kid, talk about this?
Yeah, we don't joke about that. Yeah.
Essentially, Mark Wahlberg was kind enough to give me a massage gun after I left his house. And he drove me back to my hotel. And at the time, I was confused as to what kind of massage gun this was, having never seen one before. And I thought it was the type of self-pleasure. And I thought Mark Wahlberg was driving me back to my house for other reasons other than just being a gentleman. I didn't know you. It's Hollywood, baby. Who knows what's going to happen?
Wow. We've been talking about working out, fitness, recovery, all this stuff. You know, I have a company with Power Plate, and we make the best massage guns out there. So I was like, I want to gift you one. This would be great for your recovery and everything else. And I can't believe the whole time you're thinking that. And I'm just trying to have a conversation with you, talking about your family and talking about my kids and what their interests are.
Why do you think?
Oh, you got to get your head out of the gutter, buddy.
No. Yeah, genuinely pissed.
Yeah. And I haven't actually watched the clip to see what body language is like in facial expressions. Like I could be way off on this.
I think you could tell just based on listening to it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Kevin, what's up, man? It's Roz and Mocha. How are you?
Good, guys. You?
Good. Kevin sent out a tweet today, Roz. Finally figured out how to stream the Roz and Mocha Show in Haarlem, Netherlands. I hope I said that right. Yay, a small piece of my home. I love it. Kevin, what brought you to the Netherlands from Canada?
Work, actually. I've been here for 3 months. I'm standing inside my house in Haarlem, Netherlands, which is just west of Amsterdam. So work brought me here, and for a while I've been trying to figure out how to get the morning show that I listen to every morning back home, working on my Google Home, and I finally figured it out today. So that's what prompted the tweet.
So you're there, you're in the Netherlands, everything is going great. What time of day do we come on there?
So it's a 6-hour time difference. Wow. So by the time I hit play on your show, it was noon or shortly after.
That's cool.
So you guys had just come on air this morning. So
wow.
I don't mind that.
That's amazing.
And what is it like when you sort of go to a different place and nothing is familiar, and you can bring a couple of things home with you to sort of, ground yourself. But when you went through that little period where you couldn't listen to this show, what does this show do for you? Does it make you feel like home? Does it relax? What does it do?
It does. It absolutely feels. So I was born and raised in the Hamilton area and would listen to you guys every morning going to work. So it definitely feels a whole lot more like home when I'm standing here eating my lunch and I get to listen to you two in the morning. I will say the weird part, though, the biggest thing that feels and reminds me of home is the commercials in between. So I hear things like, I hear advertisements for Food Basics, which obviously doesn't exist here. And my very first thought is, oh, Food Basics.
God bless them.
That's amazing.
That's
so what do you do for a living that you had to move out to the Netherlands?
I'd rather not say. Let's just say I got a really good opportunity to move out here for the company I work for. And obviously, I mean, I have 2 young kids, and the opportunity is a lifetime for them. So,
Are you working in psychedelics?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I don't know. I just assume
I
everybody.
work for a company large enough that I'd rather not publicly disclose it on the air.
Oh, cool.
Mafia.
Mafia, for sure, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
They sent you away for a little while.
Absolutely.
Witness protection.
Yeah, man. No, it's really great to hear from you. You are not the first person who has moved away far and really tried to go out of their way to figure out how to hack the system that they have in whatever country they're in, just so they can listen to the show, because it is sort of like home, you know. And I get that. I have things like that too in my life, and it's so wonderful to hear from somebody like you who's gone through that, and you know, you take us with you, and that's all we could ever really ask. That's the only reason why we ever, you know, why we do this show, is you just want to, you know, be a part of somebody's life and be a part of somebody's day. And the fact that, you know, we now travel with people and we travel with families when they no longer even live here anymore is just, it's heartbreaking, man. It's beautiful.
Somebody else replied to your tweet, and they live in the UK, and they were like, how do I live? I usually listen, but all the streams are down. So somehow, Kevin, you were able to crack the code on the stream being allowed to be played in the Netherlands and potentially in the UK. So you may have to help this guy out.
I already DM'd him.
Oh, you did? Okay, good. There you go, nerds helping out nerds. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin, we appreciate your dedication to the Roz and Mocha Show. Thank you very much. We can't wait to have you come back home. In the meantime, though, you can listen to our morning show in the afternoon over lunch. And we definitely love everything that you're doing, bro. Before we let you go, Kevin, between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
That's fair. Yeah, I'm going to hear about it. It's Roz. I'm sorry.
Dude, you know what I mean? Like,
you know, I've listened long enough that my first instinct was to say Maurie, because I know he's listening in on this right now, just so he would jump in. But I'll go with Roz. Sorry, Mocha.
Yeah, thanks. That win felt real great. By the way, felt awesome.
Much love to you, Kev. Thanks so much.
Thanks, boys. Cheers.
All right,
Later, bro.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So, Jackass is back. Jackass Forever opens tomorrow. You think enough people know Jackass? Like, we all know who Johnny Knoxville is, right?
Yeah, Netflix.
Oh, is Jackass on Netflix?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Roxy and I watched 2 of them. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jackass, back in the day, when we all first learned about it, Johnny Knoxville and his idiot friends would just like get together and dare each other in the most ridiculous way and do stunts and challenges. And they were like pretty extreme to the point where the goal was to hurt the other person.
Well, geez, I don't. Yes, they did get hurt, but it's not like it was challenges, right? It was almost like an endurance challenge. It was who could last the longest, who could take the most, right? And as an audience watching that, you had this almost like sadomasochistic thing that you had to come to terms with in your own self of like, I don't want to watch this, but they seem like they're all really willing participants in this. So why not watch a grown man get gorged by a bull?
Three episodes or 3, I guess, challenges stand out to me from the show back in the day.
Okay.
Because at first it started out was just these idiots getting together and they did it and they filmed it themselves. And then MTV got involved. And once MTV got involved, they got that MTV money. So they were able to pay for a lot more things.
Right.
Elaborate sets and elaborate things that can hurt the other person, potentially. And 3 stand out to me. One, when they were on a baseball field and one of the dudes stood at home plate, and I think naked, maybe?
Probably.
With just the umpire vest on.
Yeah.
And then on the pitcher's mound was like I don't know, from like the U.S. women's softball team or something like that.
Yeah.
And she was like at full speed pitching these softballs straight at their...
Right. At their it's
area.
always in the nuts.
Yeah.
Everything is in the nuts.
Another one where they took one of the guys, Bam, his parents, they used to prank the parents all the time.
Yes.
And they built like a skate park inside of the parents' house. So you walk in and it's just
I know.
ramps everywhere. And they had one long ramp that went from the second floor all the way down the stairs out the door.
I know.
And then the third one that stands out is Steve-O. They were at like a sushi bar, and Steve-O was dared to take a full roll of wasabi and sniff it.
Yeah.
Snort it. And he did. And then immediately threw up everywhere.
See, the one that Roxy and I watched, like, you say what's the worst thing they've ever done to a person on that show, you know when you're at like an amusement park like Wonderland or any of those places, right? Well, you know the slingshot ride where they like pull you back and then it's two giant rubber bands and then it slingshots you and you're attached to a chair. Do you not remember when they put Steve-O inside a full porta potty and hooked it up to one of those things?
And launched it in the desert or something?
No, but he was just like bouncing around inside. And this thing, the whole porta potty was like going upside down and spilling out on him.
I remember.
While he was inside of it.
I remember.
Like in his ears, it was going.
Oh.
Like
there was one, now that you mentioned Steve-O and something like that, they put him in like a dune buggy on like the bumpiest like sand lot ever.
Yeah.
And he was getting a tattoo.
Yes. And Steve-O used to do all that stuff hammered, but the weird thing now when you see Jackass is Steve-O's sober and he does all this stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't he also get breast implants and then have them removed?
I think so.
I think so, yeah. Anyway, Jackass.
And then I think in Jackass Forever, the story is that Johnny Knoxville suffered like brain injury, brain damage after getting like hit by a bull, mauled by a bull.
But also his wiener didn't work for a real long time.
Was that from the movie?
Yes.
Oh, wow. David Maury.
I saw the new movie.
Yeah.
And what happened to Johnny Knoxville is wild.
Like the head injury or the wiener injury?
The head injury.
The head injury.
Unbelievable.
So David Maury talked to Johnny Knoxville for this. By the way, Jackass Forever is out tomorrow.
Has your wife sat you down and said, "This is it, no more. You don't have to do these anymore. Are you done?" Has she said that, and is this the last one?
Well, the people that care about me don't like when I do the stunts, right? It's their least favorite thing that I do. And is it the last one? I don't know. We could make another one. We could not. So we never make any long-term plans. You know, half-ass stuntmen aren't that good at that sort of thing.
Like when anyone says like no more and they're worried about you, do you ever just point at the massive house that you're in and say, I
don't know if that would probably make someone more angry.
I don't know, man. These Jackass movies, like throughout history, have made a ton. Like the first one from 2002, $64 million. Jackass number 2 made $72 million. Jackass 3D made $117 million.
Dude.
You know, I'm going to assume, like most people, you have life insurance and your wife would get like an insane payout if anything were to happen. But I got to ask you, you know, in most life insurance policies, you wouldn't be covered for things like what you're doing in the Jackass movies. So what is your life insurance policy like? Does it cover what you do?
Yes. We were for sure. We got a really good life insurance policy because I need one and it covers all the silly things I do.
I guess you would have to, right?
Oh my God.
And I wonder how specific you have to be.
Very.
Right?
Very specific.
Like, do they have to update the policy when they know what challenges that they are going to attempt?
Yeah, like you have to.
Movie?
Yeah, like I think that you would have to disclose, like, you know, the reason we're taking out this clause in the policy is because I plan on putting a Roman candle in my anus and lighting it. Right? Like.
Approved. Jackass Forever is out tomorrow. That is Johnny Knoxville.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Yeah, I was pissed at Catherine.
Why?
Well, because, okay, so Catherine she drove her previous automobile, she beat the hell out of it, right? Like this thing was a wreck, right? And then
But it was also a tiny ass car.
It was a tiny ass car. And then she got a new one, right? So she's driving a new car right now.
Okay.
Right? And she loves it.
Oh, great.
It's awesome. And because it's like a newer car, it does things like that I am still blown away that cars can do, but it's because I drive like a 2010 truck that doesn't do anything. So like she doesn't even have to control her windshield wipers anymore. The windshield wipers come on the car automatically, right? It's a Bronco Sport is what she's driving.
Wow, she living in 20.
Yeah, thank you.
In 3022 right now.
So 2 things happened yesterday. So she has to go and run an errand and takes my truck, right?
Why?
I don't know. It was closer. And then she comes back in and she goes, whew, you know what? And I go, what? She goes, after you've been driving like the new car for like a real long time, she's like, I get into your truck and I'm driving and I'm like, God, is this thing even street legal? Okay.
Yo, that's so mean.
Right?
Yo, who's talking down to who now?
Okay, yeah. She's like,
Yo, I love it.
She's like, it feels just so weird. Like you shouldn't even be allowed to drive this thing.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay.
Simmer down, snitch.
I'm like, thanks, cool. So, okay.
Yo, I love this so much.
So this morning I get up and I go to, there's snow and like ice and everything else outside, right? And then I go to get into my truck and I open the door and I put the key in and I start it. And like my indicator light is on because she turned into the driveway. There's a motor hum because it was raining yesterday. And then when she stopped the car, took the key out of the car, she didn't turn the wipers off. So my wipers were halfway up on my windshield.
And frozen.
That
sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been there before.
So I can't scrape.
Oh, no.
Right?
So do you have to sit in the car and wait for, like, put the windshield heat on and wait for it to...
Enough, because
mount
if
a
I
bit?
scrape those, they're little, just, that little strip of rubber is going to come right off,
Yeah.
right?
And your old ass cheap car.
Shut up, you.
Right?
Yes.
Your wipers are hella
Thank
old.
you. Yeah. And then
I don't even think Canadian Tire still sells those.
No, and then
those
basically,
kinds.
and then my wipers are chopsticks, right? Like that's
Yeah.
basically it's as good as using those. But yeah, so I was kind of like, it shouldn't have taken me this long. And I know, like, my truck's not the best thing in the world, right?
Yeah.
But
According to Catherine,
but
it's not
don't
even
like.
street legal.
I understand you don't enjoy driving it, but don't sabotage my experience of driving it, right?
Because now that's going to bother you every single time you get in that truck.
Every time I'm going to tell her, make sure you turn the wipers off.
No, every time you get in that truck, you're going to be like, this bitch ass truck.
Oh, she was right about that part.
Oh.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So you know how last week it was announced that Tom Brady was going to retire, and then Tom Brady came out and was like, nah, just kidding.
Yeah.
Not official. And then the other day he was like, hey, guess what? Just kidding again. It's official.
Yeah.
I'm retiring. And then the tributes started pouring in and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw this video. I don't know who upset this girl.
Oh, no. Why, is she pissed at Tom Brady?
No.
Oh.
But, like, it sounds like, I don't know, maybe somebody hurt her.
Oh.
In the past or, like, recently.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Right? Maybe a Tom Brady fan, like, broke her heart.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay.
But listen to this. This is a message for all the ladies out there. Okay?
Yeah.
Every boy who made fun of you in middle school for being in your One Direction phase is sitting on a couch right now as a grown man with the Notes app open, writing the most illegible tribute to Tom Brady for his retirement. And the last line is like, thanks for my childhood to the forever GOAT. And then he's texting his mom like, hey mom, send me a picture of me in a Pats jersey when I was 7. And then he's posting that with the caption. And every time it gets a new like, he's rereading it back to himself like, oh my God, this is so good.
Wow.
She's hilarious.
Wow. Wow. Words hurt, huh? You know what they say? Up until this point, like over the last couple of years, I think people have really gotten out of hand with their, use of how harshly they criticize speech. But I'm now fully on board with words are violence. that was violent.
Yeah.
That was.
But I don't know, like this to me, like I don't think this was targeted at like every Tom Brady fan. I feel like it was targeted towards one person that like really either broke her heart or like upset her.
No.
And then she generalized it.
She generalized it. No,
You
no,
think
no,
so?
no, no, no. I don't. No. I think she's speaking to a giant group of people. I think that rarely do you see men sort of being emotional about something, and this sort of goes back to maybe I don't agree with her. Now that I think about it. Now that I think about it. Because I'll tell you why. when you are a man and you show no emotion and you're sort of like all of this stuff, you will get labeled toxic quite quickly, right? And even if you're not really toxic, but you're just not emotional. And then you are like, we're raising boys wrong and we are, we're not teaching them to be emotional people and this is why everything is terrible. And then when guys are emotional about something, even if something as stupid as football with like, hey, Ma, can you send me a picture of me when I was 7 in my Pats jersey so I can write an emotional tribute to somebody like Tom Brady? This is what you get.
This woman.
Yeah.
Every boy who made fun of you in middle school for being in your One Direction phase is sitting on a couch right now as a grown man with the Notes app open, writing the most illegible tribute to Tom Brady for his retirement. And the last line is like, thanks for my childhood to the forever GOAT. And then he's texting his mom like, hey mom, send me a picture of me in a Pats jersey when I was 7. And then he's posting that with the caption. And every time it gets a new like, he's rereading it back to himself like, oh my God, this is so good.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm not saying that she's not like, that was a brilliant way. Everything she said was a brilliant way to say it. Okay. Yeah. Everything she said was a brilliant way to say it.
I'm like crying right now.
I just don't. I just think that you need to look at this from all sides.
I got to hear this one more time. One more time, please.
Every boy who made fun of you in middle school for being in your One Direction phase is sitting on a couch right now as a grown man with the Notes app open, writing the most illegible tribute to Tom Brady for his retirement. And the last line is like, thanks for my childhood to the forever GOAT. And then he's texting his mom like, hey mom, send me a picture of me in a Pats jersey when I was 7. And then he's posting that with the caption. And every time it gets a new like, he's rereading it back to himself like, oh my God, this is so good.
Is she eating in this? Is she? Okay,
yeah, she's sitting there eating cantaloupe.
Okay, I've seen very little of TikTok, right? Okay. People are always eating and drinking while they're doing these things.
Yes.
Like, is it used as some sort of crutch or prop? Like,
no.
You're recording something that's 30 seconds long.
Yes. I think she was like sitting there eating cantaloupe and like it was in her mind and she had to like just say it right away.
Put the cantaloupe down, right? Finish chewing.
To the forever GOAT.
To the forever GOAT.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I spend most of my time, I would say that I spend more time
on the toilet.
No.
Oh.
Yes, but also no. I think that I spend more time than most wandering through the world, living life with my zipper down than the average person. Way more.
On purpose or by accident?
On purpose? What am I, a perv? On purpose. Who would do that on purpose? Who wants that kind of attention on purpose? Right? Like nobody has ever looked at somebody with their zipper down and went, right? You're always embarrassed for them. You could be wildly attracted to that person, right? But for some reason, a zipper down, you always just feel embarrassed for the person. Nobody has ever looked at somebody with their zipper down and went, oh yeah. Never.
Is your zipper down now?
It was up until about 30 seconds ago. Yeah. But most of my, every time I get out of the car, right, to go and do something, whether I'm going into the store or I'm going into the house or even when I'm leaving the house, every time I step through a door into the world, I bend over, look, and do a zipper check.
Oh, you bend over and look?
Like 100% of the time.
You could be at the parking lot at Home Depot.
Yeah.
You hop out of the truck and you're like fully bending over and looking?
Like if I first of all, I'll just use my fingers first of all, right? But I sometimes think that that's weird because if I have to go fishing for it, like if the little pokey thing is like pointed down inside that seam of the denim and I can't get
zipper?
it, then all I'm doing is I'm fidgeting in a parking lot, right?
Yeah.
So
that would look weird.
That looks weird, right? So I have to purposely then make it look like I'm checking for the zipper.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm the guy who just got out of his car still fidgeting.
Yeah. I don't forget often. It has happened.
Yeah.
But I do the move where I I pretend to adjust my belt, and then I use my pinky finger.
Oh, right.
And I hook where the zipper is. And once I feel that the zipper is there, I know I'm good.
But what's your percentage though? Like, how often are you doing that?
Maybe once a day.
Once a day. Okay. I'm 100% of the time I walk out of any door into the world. And now my percentage of time.
And you walk through a lot of doors.
Well, leave the house, leave the car, leave the building, leave everything, right?
Yeah.
I am now probably well over 60%, I would say, on times when I check and it's down.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, down.
You need to start wearing track pants.
That's right. You know what I mean?
Problem
Right?
solved.
Yeah, now I'm picturing track pants with zippers in the front. and although at first thought, I was like, wow, that could be convenient. And then I was like, but how much more convenient do you actually need track pants to be? But yeah, I live most of my life with my zipper down. Like if I'm at home, my zipper is down 100% of the time.
But then you have nothing to worry about.
I don't even do it up. But that's my problem, right? Is that when I'm in my own house, I don't do my zipper up. And then I go out into the world like that.
Right.
Like
you're living at home.
Like a weirdo, right? Yeah, like I'm living at home. I'm always living at home. But no, I like that move though that you do with the stealth move with the just like having your pinky go for a little adventure to find out if he can. You know what I mean? Like you just go. Because me, I get in there with the whole hand, right? Maybe like.
Oh yeah, that's a huge,
shut up.
huge perv move.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Saturday night, Jenna, my wife, reluctantly, oh
no,
let me show Cruz, our almost 5-year-old, his very first wrestling match.
Oh no.
Like a full match.
Yeah. Was it a good one at least?
Yeah, it was the first match in the WWE's Royal Rumble.
Okay. So hold on here before we get to this. So you're a huge wrestling fan.
Huge.
Massive wrestling fan. Always have been, and obviously there was a conversation in the household about keeping that away from the boy, right? So when did that conversation start? Like early on?
Like maybe last year when he was still 3, because I have like every now and then I'll just switch it over to WWE Network,
right,
and start watching,
right,
and then I'll get lost in whatever I'm watching, and Cruz will walk into the room,
okay,
and wants to know what's going on, and Jenna was like, he might be still a little bit too young to understand, what it is, right?
Okay, yes,
and I was like, I totally get it,
yeah,
fully get it,
yeah. So you watch
the
in
pay-per-view-
private.
So the pay-per-view started on Saturday night.
Okay.
And I was like, I really want to watch this first match, but like I got to go put Cruz to bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to let him watch just the first match.
Okay.
And then she was like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, don't worry. I'll walk
You can't
him through
put that you can't undo that.
I know.
Once it's
and she was
done.
like, just like throughout the match, she's like, "I'll just explain to him like it's not real, it's fake." And I'm like, "Okay, well,
yes,
babe."
Yeah. Come on, you don't want to blow the secret this early.
Like it's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah. Then you got to have that conversation.
Right?
What do you mean fake? Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't think they get hurt? Like, you don't, like, how do you fake that? Right. Okay. You have that conversation with your wife.
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
I said.
Okay.
So we're watching and I'm explaining to him everything that's happening.
Yes.
But then I get into the mode of like, I'm starting to explain things to him like he's an adult,
right,
and can
yes.
understand.
Oh.
Like, like this is sports entertainment. And like,
Okay. So the difference is this, right?
totally.
Okay.
Totally. I'm like, there's a couple of chair shots in there. And I was
Right.
like, the
Yes.
reason why Seth Rollins really didn't feel that chair shot is because of all the tactical gear he's
Wow.
wearing. And
Wow.
You see
Okay.
when he
Kids
does
don't
his
want
back,
that.
yeah, and he
Kids
like
don't
pushes
want
his
that.
shoulders back. It just like relieves the pain of
No.
of the chair.
No. No,
But
they
then
don't want
then I did record a little bit
Oh, God.
of what we were watching.
Okay.
What did you just see?
I saw that he threw him on the table.
Yeah. You think it hurt?
No,
Yeah, it didn't hurt.
but it hurt for that guy.
It might hurt that guy.
Yeah, but it did.
Whoa, did you see that jump?
Yeah, that's a flip.
Do you want to do a flip like that?
No,
Do you think it's going to hurt?
no. I said yeah.
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 Yeah, that'll hurt. Now that I think about it, listen, man, I'm taking this in for the very first time. Okay, like I know there's going to be a lot of times in life I press play on something and see it for the first time, but you gotta give me a minute here.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Deepa joined the Roz and Mocha Show last year. Over the time that she's been on the show, we learned a bunch of stuff about her. We know that she's known her husband since they were 12 years old. She got married back in September. We also learned that they sleep in the same bed under separate covers.
Right. Always have to put, that's your thing now, Deepa, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God, why?
She's not okay with watching TV shows or movies where people are kissing on screen.
Of any kind.
Right.
Yeah.
We also learned that Deepa's a massive Princess Jasmine fan and has over 50 pieces of paraphernalia in the bedroom of her her old bedroom at her parents' place.
Right.
Which is now like a shrine to Deepa at her parents' place.
Yeah, a Princess Jasmine fan and Limp Bizkit fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
We learned that.
Right.
You
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Deepa, would you say, though, that everything between you and your husband, Thalal, are good? Like, you guys are happy? Everything's great?
Yeah. Why am I always questioned? Like,
Whoa.
Usually it's like, oh, is everything okay in your marriage? Yes, everything is perfect in my marriage. Why?
Because I want to know,
nervous.
Deepa, why you are on Tinder.
I'm not on Tinder. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
no.
I am not
Deepa.
on Tinder.
Who sent, was it your brother or your
Oh,
cousin?
yeah.
Somebody is using, this is not the first time this has happened to somebody on the show. It happened to you,
Yeah, it
Roz.
happened
It
to
also
me.
happened to Shem,
Yeah.
where somebody is using the profile picture as their photo on Tinder.
Somebody used a profile. Somebody took my pictures and used it on Tinder, but then somebody else also took a picture with me at one point, and then that was their profile picture, like
Oh, yeah,
them
trying to
and
flex.
me. Yeah, like yeah.
So
That's the wrong way
so
to do
the
it.
picture, it's deep because if you follow Deepa on social, you know that she loves big time foodie. She
They're
goes to
great
restaurants.
videos.
She tests
Yeah.
out like different menu items, right?
Yeah, great
So
videos.
this photo
Yeah.
of the person uses Deepa holding up 2 massive slices of pizza.
Okay. You look like the perfect woman, right? That is that. If you come across Deepa on Tinder with a 3-foot slice of pizza, that right there is the perfect woman.
It has you listed here as 38 years old, going to Niagara University. So congratulations, Deepa.
Wow, late bloomer.
38. Like, also, that is the worst possible picture that you could have chosen of me because I'm not even smiling. I look like I'm upset at the pizza. And I'm like, if you think this is going to get you clicks, I don't know. Good
How
luck.
happy-
But my brother's.
How happy do you think a 38-year-old college student would look?
I don't know. That's a good question, actually.
So who was it? Was it your brother that found this photo or your cousin?
Yeah, it was my brother. So his friend messaged him and was like, hey, is everything okay with your sister's marriage?
no.
And then he sent a screenshot of that profile because it was recommended to him. So my brother sent me the screenshot and he's like, what is this? And I don't know if he thought that I created a fake Tinder profile with wrong information and chose a really bad picture of myself to use as my dating profile. And I was like, this isn't me. I don't know who this is. This photo's from like 4 years ago. So yeah, that's what happened.
What name
So-
did they use? Does it say or no?
Oh yeah, she used the name Anna
or something.
Anna.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Anna,
Anna.
the
I look
38-year-old
like an
college
Anna.
student.
Yeah.
Pizza. So if you come across Deepa's photo on Tinder, listed as Anna, 38 years old, going to Niagara University, and the photo is of her wearing a yellow shirt, holding up 2 massive slices of pizza.
Yes.
This is not, in fact, Deepa from yes,
is
the
not.
photo is of Deepa from the Roz Mocha show, but it's not really Deepa as being on Tinder.
No.
What if I'm lying to you guys and it's actually
Deepa, don't say that because this is the only thing people are going to remember.
Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's
Thank
not. I
you.
swear to God, it's not.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello?
Hey, it's Roz and Mocha.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Well, we're working. What are you doing?
Yes. Heading to work.
What's your name?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. All right. Lindsay sent us a really nice text just now, Roz. Lindsay is 5 months pregnant.
Hey, congratulations.
She said she's
Thank you.
teaching special ed on her way to work every day. She listens to the show and the podcast. Her commute is 40 minutes. So we just wanted to call to say thank you for sharing your time with us. How's everything going?
Thank you. It's great. Yeah. A little stressful.
Yeah? Why?
Well, with the pandemic and being pregnant and, being back at school.
Yeah.
Good, though. Kids need to be back at school, so it's
They
good.
do.
How are you feeling being 5 months pregnant right now?
I'm great. Second
Yeah?
trimester. I
Oh,
have
okay.
a 3-year-old at home.
Oh, okay. Is there anything you're nervous about this time around?
No, not really. My kid was born with complications last time, so hoping that doesn't happen again. But we find out what we're having next week.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so you're going to find out, huh?
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I don't know how people don't.
Yeah, I mean, we found out. We found out too, and I it's been explained to me when people don't, because I've had 2 friends now that did not find out, and the reason it was the reason behind it, why they didn't, was because they had said that it's the last actual available surprise on Earth. Right? You know what I mean? Like, to be genuinely surprised where nobody can spoil it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody can figure it out, like, before you. Like, your friends aren't going to be able to know first. Like, it's just the last sort of surprise we have, like a genuine surprise. And so they wanted to capitalize on that. But we didn't find out because I wanted to start calling her by, like, her and, like, you know, girl and, like, all that stuff, right? Like, I didn't want to be, like, because I never like when people say baby in that way. I can't stand it. I can't stand it when people say when baby comes.
Oh, okay.
It drives me crazy.
It's like an incomplete sentence.
Yeah, I don't like that, right? Like, or even when you get the email where somebody says mom and baby are doing fine. I don't like that. Like, I don't like when people use the word baby that way. It weirds me out.
We found out with Cruz, like almost immediately, as soon as we could.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Show
obviously,
me that wiener!
yeah, and you know, like being a newbie, I have no idea. Like when we found out, like Jenna did the test at home, but then we went like to the doctor and they did the test, and then the doctor was like, "You see that little flickering thing? That's the heart, right?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Cool." And then I'm like analyzing the photo, and I'm like, "Oh, damn, it's a boy."
You saw?
And then the doctor was like, "What?" I was like, "Isn't that right there? That little like that curl part there? I mean, it's a boy." And the doctor was like, "No, man, like." Baby don't even have legs yet.
That's the spine.
That's like just a curve of the like the spine or whatever. Eventually, it will turn into like legs or like,
look at
you won't
Mocha.
know for weeks.
Look at Mocha, so proud. Saw like a big giant line going across the stream, and was like, "That's my boy.
That's my son right there." Lindsay, thank you so much for your text. Thank you so much for listening. We just wanted to call just to let you know how much we appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been a fan since day one, so I've been listening forever. And
How old are you now?
Get me through.
How old are you now?
I'm 34.
34. Okay, so you were like 20, maybe?
How long have you been on?
We're going on 14 years now.
14 years, yeah. It's a lot of life we've lived together, huh?
Right. When you guys got the podcast, it saved my drive home.
You're great.
Well, you've listened long enough that you know how we end this phone call, Lindsay, between Roz and Mocha. Who's your favorite?
I've never called in or done anything like this because I never want to answer this question. Oh, goodness. I'm going to go with Roz.
Yes.
I love you both. And I'm not going to explain why.
You know what? I'm fine with that. I never want to know the reasons why.
I know, because
it's
always a disappointment.
Yeah, and now when you say I'm not going to explain it, I start to think, well, now I want to know because it's obviously for reasons that are going to hurt my feelings.
No, never. No, and that's the reason why, because somehow someone will twist it. And hurt your feelings, and I don't want that.
And truth be told, the only thing that anybody could ever say about why I'm their favorite that wouldn't hurt my feelings is if the answer was that ass.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say
it. Love you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Like, what's supposed to happen today? Like, is it supposed to rain or is it supposed to snow? Because it was quite beautiful out when I left the house.
It's going to rain, and then it's going to turn to snow.
I thought somebody was messing around my backyard, but it was just all the ice falling off the roof.
Yeah, no. The snow, the rain is going to change to snow around 3 o'clock this afternoon.
3?
Yeah. So 3 to 8 centimeters this afternoon. And then overnight, another 3 to 8 is possible. And then tomorrow, another wave of snow going to come through with 3 to 5 centimeters.
Jeez. Where are you going to put it?
What do you mean?
The snow.
I don't know. You know, it's funny you bring that up.
I have nowhere to put snow. I have nowhere to put snow.
And feel free to text if you know.
Like, I have nowhere to put snow.
925-555. I know that when the plows go through major streets, side streets, neighborhoods, everywhere else, right? It just pushes the snow to the side.
Right.
And it goes on the side.
Yes, it does.
And then eventually it melts and...
You would hope.
Into the drain.
Yeah.
Right? So long. Au revoir.
Yeah.
when the trucks come through, like past couple of weeks now, and have been clearing the snow, the excess that had been pushed aside, like let's say on the highway, and they have that one truck with that blows it into a dump truck.
Yeah.
And then that dump truck is now full of snow.
Yes.
And they take it away.
Yes.
Where do they take all that
So
snow?
that snow goes to one place, and that place is also full.
So what happens to that snow? They just wait for it to melt?
You wait for it to melt.
But then what happens? Like, where does it then drain to?
Yeah, because it's part of the cycle. Some evaporates, some drains. It just does its thing.
That's a lot of snow.
It's a lot
and
of snow.
long time for it to melt.
Yes. Yeah. I would like.
But do we have like
blowtorches?
places? No. I
Oh.
mean, it would help.
You know?
No, but do we have, I guess, like we have places around where they store like
Snow.
like there's an empty lot.
Yeah.
An empty piece of land
Yes.
somewhere in the city.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That they then take all that snow
Yes.
and like this is the dedicated in the
Snow
wintertime
place.
snow place.
Yes, and that place is full.
So now what?
Exact. This is what
Can't
this. Yeah.
you just dump it in the lake?
Well, I mean,
No, you can't.
Because that's
Yeah.
water in there.
yeah, I know. There's also like old shoes and stuff like that they scoop up, right?
Yeah,
you can't do.
you can't dump it in the lake.
You can't be dumping stuff in the lake. It's all full of salt and like oil dripping from cars and
Garbage, yeah.
garbage.
No,
like you
no,
can't.
no.
No,
How have they
you
never
can't.
figured out a way to sort of filter it and turn it into bottled water?
For the exact same reason that
Yeah,
Roz just
I mean-
mentioned with salt
Yeah,
and
like
car oil and just dirt.
Because I don't know. I don't know if we need to. I don't know if we're there yet, where we have to start drinking the snowbanks. You know,
My dog loves eating it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Somebody just texted 925-555.
Yeah.
Much like what you said. Why
Yeah.
don't you just torch the snow?
Yeah. I often thought about getting a blowtorch.
Have you ever gone out in the backyard and just used like a hairdryer?
A hairdryer?
Nah.
No. When I was a kid, though, my dad sent us out. My brother and I, we just had other stuff to do. I don't know what we were going to do. Probably go through his magazines in the basement. We had other stuff to do, and he made us go out and shovel the drive. And we had like a drive was on a slope, and it was just, it sucked. Like there was nothing fun about it. And we got yelled at and told to come in. And then he went and finished off the job when he looked out the window, and my brother had the shop vac out. And was
stop it.
vacuuming up the snow. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
No,
and
he wasn't.
anything to not shovel. We were in the garage looking for anything to not shovel. Like we were planning on moving the snow, but the last thing I wanted to do was shovel. So we went in the garage and looked for anything but a shovel. And he found a shop vac. And then I just stood at the end of the driveway kicking little bits of snow onto the road with my boot.
Effective. Another text came through at 925-555. Airport has massive open land where they've been dumping all the snow, as well as Downsview Park close to Allen and Shepard.
Yeah. God, what a mess.
Somebody said, pretty sure this place is TTC, near the TTC headquarters at Wilson and Finch.
Yeah. Where they just put all
Roz
the snow.
is right. It looked full.
Yeah, it's full. I heard that it's full. So I don't know what you're going to do with all the snow.
Because you can't take all this new snow that we're
No.
getting now and dump it on top of the old snow.
No.
Why not?
No.
That doesn't seem effective.
Yeah.
And then you have endless sky.
Yeah, but then you need like, how high do you want to build that? You know what I mean? Like,
like a 95
yeah,
you can
it's
toboggan
not-
on it.
No, it's
No,
not,
but then you
it's-
can toboggan.
No, but then you need other machines. You got to go high. It's not cool. Like nothing about it is cool, right?
Yeah.
Melt it.
Yeah.
Melt it.
Blowtorches.
Blowtorch it.
So anyway,
Yeah.
be careful. We're getting a ton of snow over the next couple of days.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, question. How much poop is too much poop in your food?
In your food?
In my food?
Yeah.
What?
All poop is
so,
not good.
Thank you. So I'm going through this article, and let me. It starts like
I
this.
almost
So
contemplated for a
okay,
second.
no, but you should contemplate.
Okay.
You should contemplate. So, quote, it's economically impractical to grow, harvest, or process raw products that are totally free from non-hazardous, naturally occurring, unavoidable defects. This is according to the U.S. FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. So while there's no way to get rid of all the creatures that might hide or ride along in the food processing chain, the FDA has established standards to keep the defects to a minimum. So things like a chocolate bar could contain 30 or more insect parts and a sprinkling, they say, of rodent hair.
But it's been cleaned.
Okay. Well, no, this it is not. Coffee beans, like when you grind them up,
Yeah.
according to the FDA, An average of 10 milligrams or more of animal poop is found per pound and allowed per pound. As much as 4% to 6% of beans by count are allowed to be insect infested or moldy.
Infested?
Yes, so 4 to 6%. Eggs. 40 insect fragments with every teaspoon, along with a smidgen of rodent hair.
Ew.
That's what gives it its flavor.
Okay. Peanut butter is one of the most controlled foods
come on.
by the FDA, just because of allergies and everything
Yeah.
else. Okay. An average of 1 or more rodent hairs per 30 or so insect fragments are allowed for every 100 grams.
Is that why it's
of
chunky?
peanut butter? The typical serving size for peanut butter is 2 tablespoons. That means each sandwich would have about 8 insect fragments and a teensy tiny bit of poop.
Oh, come on.
When you say fragments, do you mean like body parts?
Yes.
Just opened up a jar of peanut butter.
Jelly and jams aren't nearly as controlled as peanut butter.
Oh, God.
Apple
so what?
butter, if people
Yeah.
eat that, can contain an average of 4 or more rodent hairs for every 3.5 ounces.
When you say rodent hair, that's
And
just like so
and about 5 whole insects. 5 whole insects are allowed by the FDA per 3.5 ounces of apple butter.
Why would they allow it,
raisins? Because you can't control it. So they have to say it's an unavoidable fact that your food is going to contain poop and bugs. Okay, and hair. So
Okay,
how
what-
much are we going to allow? So they had to create standards. Okay,
What about raisins?
Raisins.
Please. And my kid loves raisins. We send him
Okay.
with little boxes of raisins every day to
Raisins
school.
are allowed to contain 35 fruit fly eggs as well as 10 or more whole insects.
That is disgusting.
Tomato juice in a 14-ounce glass could contain up to 4 maggots and 20 or more fruit fly eggs.
Wait, but these aren't like you're saying these things, right?
Yes.
And in my mind, I'm picturing them as like a whole
No,
thing.
they will have been processed through.
Yes.
Yes.
Mushed
but
up and, like,
so you-
mixed in.
But
That
so-
doesn't make it okay.
But then you're trying to differentiate between whether ground poop is more acceptable than just a whole poop. It's still poop.
Yeah, but it's bug poop, so it's minuscule.
No, rodent poop.
Still minuscule, right?
Rodent poop?
Those are those little dots.
Maury, if I threw a piece at you, you'd feel it.
Ew, please don't.
Canned tomatoes, tomato paste, and sauces like pizza sauces. They're a bit less contaminated than tomato juice.
Oh, great.
However, the FDA allows up to 2 maggots per 16-ounce can. And then finally, we'll end on this. Crushed oregano can contain 300 or more insect bits and about 2 rodent hairs for every 10 grams.
That's it?
Yeah, but Roz, you cook with oregano a lot.
For every 10 grams, Maury. That's
like
a
something.
lot. That's a
Yeah.
lot. So when I ask you the question, how much poop is too much poop in your food?
Apparently a lot.
Thank you.
Right?
A lot.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is... Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Amanda, welcome to Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life. What's going on? What's on your mind today?
I did not sign up to be my boyfriend's son's stepmom.
So you wrote us this, Roz and Mocha. So my boyfriend and I have been together for 2.5 years. Getting into our relationship, I knew that he had a little boy, 4.5 years old, and it never bothered me. His relationship with his son was very limited, and we both never go to see him. Flashback to a year ago when his son's mother passed away suddenly and unexpectedly. His son now has been living with us for almost a year, making me a full-time stepmom, and even still, I find myself having a hard time connecting and even feeling resentment towards the son. He's a great little boy, and I feel a lot of love for him, but I have moments where I get so frustrated that all of our freedom, my freedom, and independence has been taken away. I feel selfish, and I can't tell if this is just immaturity and I will grow up and out of these feelings, or if these feelings mean something deeper.
So, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay. Is this a relationship that you see, like with this guy, do you see a future with?
I'd say 100%. Yeah, he's my person.
Do you want kids?
My own,
That I have not come to a decision on.
You haven't talked about this?
We have, and it's something that's kind of like, maybe when we're financially ready one day, but, we're both getting older, so.
So you knew going into this that the person that you were falling in love with had a child?
Yeah.
And did you just think that you were never going to have to meet him?
No, I mean, before he came to live with us, I think I only met him once, and that was not because of my boyfriend's fault. We just, obviously due to the very unfortunate circumstances, he had to come live with us full time. But then, it literally just came from nothing to 100%, really quick. And sometimes I just feel like I'm not allowed to be frustrated or mad because this is what I signed on to, and you're the adult and you have to be the one to grow up, kind of thing. And, basically, I'd like to be able to go forward without feeling such guilt and judgment just because I have those moments.
So, but you're saying two sort of different things here, which is, the kid's mom died, right?
Yes.
And how old was the kid when the mom died?
3.
That kid growing up is really not going to have a whole lot of memory, if any, of ever having a mother, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you started off by saying that this guy was your person and that you guys were forever, right? In order to come to that decision, to look at somebody and say that you're my person and you're my forever, you have to sort of look at their entire life and what you guys are building together, because you're not going to be two separate individuals just sort of cruising along together, right? Like you build your team at that point. And when you're building your team, you figure out, who's on it and what they need and how you can be supportive. To remove yourself from such a significant part of his life, especially when you're dealing with somebody, a little kid whose mom died, you can't make that decision that this is your forever and ignore the aspect that there's a child involved.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be. You don't have to suddenly, be the great stepmom baking cookies and going to meetings with the teacher and all that stuff. You don't have to discipline the kid. You don't have to educate the kid. You don't have to raise the kid. But you do need to support him in all of that. Okay, and we're talking about a house that has a child in it. Mm-hmm. You're the adult in the room. Things should kick in at points where you're going to realize that this boy, this little kid, he is going to he is going to want to bond with you.
Oh, and yeah, he definitely has, which definitely puts that into a different perspective.
I think a lot of your feeling is that you were thrown into being a parent when you weren't prepared to be a parent.
Probably, yeah.
Have you talked to your boyfriend about your feelings about this?
A little bit, but, I think he has had to have a lot to process, too, with this whole situation. And, I feel like when I put my feelings onto him about it, it brings up his feelings about it, and I feel like he kind of shuts down a little bit because it was a lot to take on for both of us.
If you're not all in, you got to get out.
I would say I'm all in because I love both of them very much, but yeah, like I said, I just have moments of feeling frustrated. Like I feel selfish that I can't say or do anything about my feelings.
To me, you said that you're still undecided whether you want kids, but all this comes down to right now is you just sound like somebody who doesn't want to raise somebody else's kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to look at it.
Right?
No, but be honest. Is that the way you've been feeling?
I wouldn't say that. No, it's just like...
I could maybe understand if the mom was still around.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could understand the mom is still around, but the kid's mom died. And,
yeah, I mean,
and if you tell us that this guy's your person and this is forever with this guy, you're either all in or you're out. There's a kid involved.
Yeah.
Roz is 100% right, and that child, that little boy, is looking to you for your guidance and for your help and for your love. And if you can't give all of that to that little boy, then Roz is 100% right. You have to walk away.
Yeah, I think that's the hard advice I needed.
Now, if you think that you're going to get there, that's a different story. This kid does not have to call you mom. Okay.
No.
This you don't have to, go out of your way to do things that, you can support your boyfriend in, but you don't have, a lot of this stuff doesn't have to sort of fall on you. This is going to be a gradual process for you, and it should take a long time. But the one thing you can't do is when that kid needs you, you can't have in your head, I'm not your mom. But if you are all in and this is your forever and you love them both, allow yourself the time to ease into it.
Yeah.
Find, like, every day, just find something else that feels a little better, feels a little bit more comfortable. Constantly talk to your boyfriend about how you're feeling about all this, because he may not need you to discipline the kid. He just needs you to support him.
That's very true. I honestly did not think of that. I just went into straight, strict stepmom mode.
No, and have that conversation with him. Look at him and say, okay, here's the deal. This is going to take me a while, okay? But what I need to know from you is, what do you need from me?
That's true. I'll definitely do that.
Does that help, Amanda?
It does. It helps a lot.
Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much for reaching out.
Okay, thanks, you guys.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
On Kiss.
Hey, Rihanna's pregnant, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like pregnant.
Yeah.
Like
She kept
belly
that
showing
secret.
and everything.
Yeah. What does that mean for the album, do you think?
Oh, bro, we're going to get that. I feel she is going to...
When that kid goes to college.
She's going to
get it.
rush to get that album out to fans.
Oh, you think? Yeah?
Oh, she is... Man, I gave up on a Rihanna album like long ago.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I know. Now, here's my question with that. First of all, congratulations, Rihanna. You look beautiful.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
My quote from I love ASAP Rocky's quote when I guess this was from GQ when he called Rihanna the love of his life and asked about what it was like being in a relationship. He said, it's so much better. It's so much better when you got the one. She amounts to probably like 1 million of the other ones. I think when you know she's the one. Now, is he saying that she amounts to 1 million of the other ones in a way that, like,
there's no comparison.
He's known enough about the other ones to know that she's just that good.
Like
or is he
above
saying,
and beyond.
Or is he saying she amounts to like 1 million of the other ones, meaning that he's had 1 million of the other ones?
I don't think he's going to say that. No, it's definitely not the latter. Definitely not that one.
No, they're good together though.
And they've been together
for a while.
for, I mean, publicly for like a year, maybe.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, it's been
Yeah, I don't know too much about their relationship.
longer. Well, he was doing modeling for like Fenty.
Yeah.
I think
she brought him in.
her men's makeup line, maybe?
Sure.
Or clothing. Anyway, and then they got closer. They knew each other like from before.
Right.
But then they got closer.
Yeah.
After that, then started dating.
Yeah. You think this bugs Drake? Shem.
Yo, can I tell you?
Because I'm just saying, if there's one person out there, right, that says that Rihanna is the one, and Rihanna is worth she's probably 1 million of the other ones, right? Chances are A$AP Rocky is not the first person to ever feel that way about Rihanna, right? If somebody says that about somebody else, you know that you're not the only one who's ever felt that.
Right. Well,
because
Drake-
if the person is truly that special, you know you're not the only person who's ever felt that way.
Drake's, professed his love for Rihanna publicly at, what was it, like the MTV Awards or something, when he was like presenting her with, it was like a lifetime achievement or something, right? And he said, like, I love this woman for my entire life.
Yeah.
And then she like immediate like friend zoned him on stage in front of her, and she's like, thanks. Not even like, I love you too, as like a friend or whatever. Just,
No, I know. I shouldn't even say nothing back,
nothing.
huh?
She just accepted the award.
That's right. Thank you. Oh, that's right. God, I forgot about that. Shem, what do you think?
Listen, the memes yesterday.
Were they killing them?
Oh,
no.
man.
Come on.
So good, though. But really, listen, happy for Rihanna, but it really sort of raises the stakes for the rest of us, I feel like, as those guys.
You see yourself in all that? You've been sitting in a room with Maurie too long. You look at, how do I turn Rihanna's pregnancy into something about me?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
All right, here we go.
All right, Mocha, you ready?
Uh-huh.
Let's do the news. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
News break.
There's going to be a 13 going on 30 reunion, and I can't wait for this. What? And it's not one of these sort of like typical reunions where they just get together and talk about the movie. It's actually a movie coming to Netflix, and it reunites Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo. And Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo are going to be playing parents. Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo are going to be playing Ryan Reynolds' parents.
What?
So the movie is called...
Is this a 13 going on 30? Like
No. I just love them. I just love those two together.
reunion.
I think that they're dynamite together.
A sequel?
No, not at all. No. It's called The Adam Project. And The Adam Project is Ryan Reynolds plays a time-traveling pilot who teams up with his younger self and his late father to deal with his past and save the future while also searching for a woman played by Zoe Saldana. So if you love as much as I did seeing Mark Ruffalo and Jennifer Garner together in 13 going on 30, they're going to be playing Ryan Reynolds' parents in a brand new movie.
And this is on Netflix?
Netflix, March 11th. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Netflix, March 11th.
That's amazing.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Machine Gun Kelly getting some incredible, rightfully so, well-deserved backlash today. This all started on TikTok when they dug up an old interview with Machine Gun Kelly that he did with, I'm trying to remember, I think Fuse is what it was. And they had asked him who his celebrity crush was. And this is, again, Machine Gun Kelly was 23 years old, and he's talking about Kendall Jenner, who at the time was 17. But listen to this.
Don't let me move to LA. Oof. I'm finding her.
You count down the days until she's 18?
I'm not waiting until she's 18. I'll go now. I'm 23, dog. Like, I'm not like a creepy age. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm 23, bro. She's 17 and she's like a celebrity. Like, there is no limits right there. Robert Plant dated a girl that was 14. Axl Rose dated a girl that was 16 and wrote a song on his first album about the girl that was 16. I don't care. Say what you want, man. If Kendall Jenner is in your bedroom naked and you're 50, you're going.
What?
So that was MGK when he was, how old? Can somebody tell me how old Machine Gun Kelly is now? Oh, and how long ago this was? So that's the clip from an older interview with MGK.
How did this never
listen,
get brought up?
How old
recently?
is he? How old is he, Sham?
31.
31. Okay, so not even quite 10 years ago. But where people, obviously the whole thing is just gross. But the part that is really quite shocking to people, it's not that he just gave his opinion on Kendall Jenner. It's just that he seemed like he had done a whole lot of research to justify his opinion.
He named her
like throwing out names of other people who have done this and songs that have written about relationships and everything else. He was wrong about Robert Plant. It was actually Jimmy Page who dated somebody who was younger. But so if you're wondering why people are going in on Machine Gun Kelly today, it's because of this interview from when he was 23 years old talking about Kendall Jenner, who was 17 at the time.
You idiot.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Adele is shooting down rumors that she and Rich Paul have split. Oh, no. So despite the recent speculation, so she wrote this on social media. She goes, "Hiya. So I'm really happy to say that I'm performing at the Brits next week. And I'll also be popping in to see Graham Norton for a chat on the couch while I'm in town, too. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, and Rich sends his love." So that's what she wrote on social media, because the big story was that she dipped from Vegas because the relationship was on the rocks and everything else. But even still, to go on social right now, like, I love Adele. I really do love Adele. But to go on social and talk about how, hey, can't wait, I'm doing the Brits next week, and then I'm doing this talk show in the UK, when all these people bought tickets for your show in Vegas.
I know.
Right, and not only tickets, but flights and hotels and
book time off of work.
Book time off work, and now you're not even in the country.
Like, lay low, girl.
Right, and you're talking about events that you're going to be doing. Like, oof, God, it's rough, man. Rough.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Whoopi Goldberg suspended from The View. So we'll get to that statement in a second. But so she had said her thing on The View yesterday. I guess it was yesterday, talking about how the Holocaust was not about race. Then she went on to Stephen Colbert to try and clarify her statements. That didn't really go too well. Then she did a full formal apology on Twitter after her appearance on Stephen Colbert. Then yesterday, she went on The View when The View started and had this to say.
So yesterday on our show, I misspoke. And I tweeted about it last night, but I kind of want you to hear it from me directly. I said something that I feel a responsibility for not leaving unexamined because my words upset so many people, which was never my intention. And I understand why now. And for that, I am deeply, deeply grateful because the information I got was really helpful and helped me understand some different things. And while discussing how a Tennessee school board unanimously voted to remove a graphic novel about the Holocaust, I said that the Holocaust wasn't about race, and it was instead about man's inhumanity to man. But it is indeed about race, because Hitler and the Nazis considered Jews to be an inferior race. Now, words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected. I also stand with the Jewish people, as they know, and y'all know, because I've always done that.
This comes down to because realistically, a lot of people have been fired for saying a whole lot less. But this goes back to what you and I have talked about a whole lot on this show, which is we have passed a point in the world where people are allowed to be wrong, right? If you're wrong about something now, you lose everything. She was wrong, and she said she was wrong. Do I think that Whoopi Goldberg should be fired? No, I don't think that Whoopi Goldberg should be fired. But they did suspend her. Now,
Did they really?
Yeah, they suspended her for 2 weeks. So ABC News president Ken Godwin said, effective immediately, I'm suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. The entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, families, and communities.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, have you seen Khloe Kardashian's hands and this controversy with her hands?
Yo, they still talking about this girl's hands?
Yeah. You seen these?
It's been days.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone mainstream now. I'm talking about it.
Wow.
Because, when Kardashian news gets all the way to me, it's big news.
I saw this last week.
Yeah. Well, it finally made its way to me. Did you? So you know the picture I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely.
You know the picture, Deepa? No.
You see this picture?
So okay. So it's a picture of Khloe in her car. And she is wearing a gray bodysuit, and I'm trying to think of what she's wearing. I think maybe Gucci boots, something like that. Yeah, Gucci boots.
Like you don't know.
Look for the picture. So a lot of people had a lot of stuff to say about that hand.
Here, can you see this, Deepa?
Yeah.
No, you got to go in closer. You got to get the close up. That's not good enough, Mocha. No.
Zoom in on your phone.
No, you're not doing anything. You're not helping anybody with that. Just Google Deepa. You have a computer in front of you.
Sorry. I'll do it.
Yo, bust out your phone and go.
Okay.
Chloe. Or IG.
So what happened
Khloe
was
Kardashian hand?
Yeah, hand.
No. Or just type in Twitter Khloe Kardashian hand.
Khloe hand. So what happened was that everybody started going in on Khloe over her hand. And I think a lot of it might have to do with the fact that her nails are just super long and they're almost a dead color. Like her nails are a dead color and then her sleeve is a dead color. And when you compare the skin tone on her hand compared to her face, which obviously has makeup on it, the hand, it looks like a dead hand, right? Like it's a white, very gray almost hand.
Girl, you need some Aveeno.
Right? Okay. And there's not a lot to it. So the next picture she posts.
Face.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
scary.
I'm just saying. Okay. Okay.
Chef's face right now.
But here's my so anyway, so she posted another picture the other day of her posing there, and she's got a pair of jeans on, no shirt, everything else, but her hands are sort of tucked up into her armpit. And then one fan wrote, "Oh Lord, she's hiding her hands." To which Khloe responded, "LOL, never. My hands are beautiful, baby." The problem that the Kardashians run into frequently is that so much of their pics are stretched and photo tuned and cleaned up, right? And when you look at the photo, you only look at how does my face look, how does my outfit look, everything else, and you sometimes forget to look at the little things like a hand. This could have been an incredible fail when it comes to retouching, but yet you can't say that. You can't go on and say, "Sorry, they stretched out my hand so it looks like it's the hand of something dead." Right? You can't say that, so then you have to defend it.
People were comparing it to a chicken foot.
That's such a good comparison.
Deepa, your thoughts, Deepa?
I think that's just her hand, though. No,
Yeah?
like
No, it looks dead.
it just looks like a witchy hand. Maybe she has really bad circulation.
Now, generally, though, when you are, because if you look at her skin tone in that picture, she's got like beautiful skin tone. They're like they do such an incredible job with makeup and everything else. But when you compare the tone of the hand to the tone of her face, I think that's what throws it off.
Oh yeah, big time. Especially like if I'm looking on her IG right now, right? On the bunch of photos here.
Yes.
On the carousel. So
Yes.
1, 2, 3. If you go to slide number 3 is one of the hand pictures that people are talking about.
Right.
And then number 4, if you zoom right in, it's her left hand kind of covering a little bit of her face.
Yeah.
That one you can really tell the difference in
tone.
Yeah. Her face versus
I think
that hand.
I think that's it. I think it's a tone thing as opposed to, also gray nails with a gray shirt and gray skin. Like, it's not going to look good. Like, it's just not.
This is why Madonna wears gloves.
Fair enough. Wow. So there you go. That's the controversy with Khloe Kardashian's hand, that she is now having to defend her hand from people who don't like her hand. Okay, that's the life, right? Isn't that what everybody wants? You want to be a Kardashian? You want to deal with stuff like this on a daily basis? Have at it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Simu Liu is hosting the 2022 Juno Awards. Woo! It's outdoors this year. It's going to be at Budweiser stage in May when it's all nice.
Risky.
Why?
Well, May is still a tricky month.
It is. You're right.
April and May are very tricky months.
You are very correct on that.
So to have an outdoor venue, I understand why, safety reasons. And,
Sure.
Airflow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Totally get it. But still, hoping for the best for the weather. And I'm so happy that he's hosting.
Simu spoke to ET Canada yesterday talking about the other people who have hosted and the great legacy of what it means to be a Juno host.
The Junos reached out and they said, would you consider hosting? And I was like, absolutely yes. I was like, would you like me to perform also? And they were like, no, that's okay, just the hosting. And I was are you sure? And they're like, yeah. So I was like, okay, fine, just the hosting then. But I mean, my favorite year, I always rewatch these videos on YouTube, but the year that Drake hosted, I thought was so funny. I thought he made the Junos into something that was like, it was just so much fun to tune into. And he had like a Lloyd Robertson cameo and a Justin Bieber. He was Skyping with Justin Bieber. And I was just like, this is great. This is comedic gold. And so, I think the Junos has a high caliber of comedy, even though it's a celebration of Canadian music, as it should be, but a high caliber for its hosts.
I really hope that they incorporate his parents.
Oh, they will.
Some sort of comedy moment, some sort of skit. Because I read that, like, I think anytime he's working on a project, he like brings his folks along with him. And they hang out on set.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll involve the folks from Kim's Convenience, like Paul Sun Young Lee?
I think that, maybe, but I think it's more likely that if he's going to have a friend do a cameo, it's going to be somebody from like the Marvel world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like, I think it'll be like a Ryan Reynolds or somebody like that,
Sure.
who will wind up helping him out on the show for sure.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Big drama on The Masked Singer. Whoo! So they're taping the new season right now, and this is set to air. I guess it'll air next month, but Robin Thicke and Ken Jeong walked off set when it was revealed
Ken Jeong.
Yeah, Ken Jeong walked
My
off
guy.
set when it was revealed that Rudy Giuliani was in one of the costumes.
No.
Yeah, Nicole Scherzinger and Jenny McCarthy stayed in their spots and actually talked to him and did the interview and everything else. But
Did they say anything to him, or they just got up and left?
They just when he was revealed to be Rudy Giuliani, they just got up and walked off set while the cameras are rolling, like during the performance. So that's either going to air as is, or they're going to try and cut around it, or I don't know what they're going to do. But this is like because who else did they have? They had Sarah Palin do that show,
They did.
then Dancing with the Stars had that same sort of controversy with Sean Spicer when he was on. What is it, Maury?
Oh, hold on.
Was that?
I was going to say Sean Spicer.
Yeah, and that's one of the, and Tom Bergeron had a real problem with the Sean Spicer thing.
Yeah.
And was, most likely one of the factors on him not returning to that show. But yeah, Rudy Giuliani on that show. Like, to even ask, like, everybody in Berta has to be on board if you're going to have Rudy Giuliani on The Masked Singer.
But they can't tell the judges.
No, they can't.
that's the problem. And then they have to sit there and ask questions. Like, you're trying to get, like, who it is. Oh, my God. It would drive you crazy. But yeah, so they got up while the cameras were rolling and walked
So
off.
do you think they'll come back to the show? Or
Yeah,
they just,
yeah.
got up and left just for that?
No, just for
moment?
that. Yeah, for that moment. Yeah. And then
Damn.
they'll come. They came back and finished doing everything else. But I wonder how that's going to play out on television. Interesting.
I don't know. Blurred lines.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Whoopi Goldberg, who is doing her 2-week suspension.
Well, you just catching that now?
No, I'm just laughing. No, I was trying not to laugh, but then I just laughed. Whoopi Goldberg, who's serving her 2-week suspension from The View, not on the show yesterday, and they really made very little, if any, mention at all during the show yesterday. So I thought that they would go and they would have a conversation about it, right? But this is what
Whoopi's not here.
This is why. You all know why. She's doing blah, 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 blah. So this is how Whoopi's absence was acknowledged on The View yesterday.
Now, let's get things started.
Good morning and welcome to The View. You all saw the news. Whoopi will be back here in 2 weeks. Okay. Tara Setmayer has returned to guest co-host, so let's get to hot topics, ladies, shall we?
Yes.
So the Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch is hanging out with a
That was it. Y'all saw. I guess they figure like everybody saw the news. Everybody knows what's going on.
I think they're pissed at her, to be honest
Were
with
they
you.
pissed at her or
move on.
the fact that she was given a suspension?
No, I think Joyce.
Because I
pissed
thought
at-
if they were pissed at her, they would talk about it more.
No, I think
No.
Not when it comes to. I think Joy's pissed at Whoopi, especially Joy. I think that she's pissed at Whoopi.
Yeah.
And also ABC has fired people for a whole lot less, right? ABC
Yeah.
and Disney, they've fired people for a whole lot less than saying what Whoopi did, and then especially when Whoopi doubled down on Stephen Colbert and just like all of this stuff. But yeah, I think that Joy's pissed at Whoopi because it was Whoopi who people were trying to be reasonable during that conversation, but the problem is they all feel the same way about things now. The View, everybody agrees on everything on The View now, and they don't want to eat themselves. They don't want to turn on each other. And when people tried to reason with Whoopi when she was going on this, like if you go back to that clip, like Whoopi was shutting them down.
Yeah.
And I think that is...
It was like old school, The View.
And
where they were always going at it.
Well,
right?
and when everybody sits there, and the perception is that everybody sat there and said nothing while Whoopi was going off on this. And I would be pissed at that too. What position am I in now to have to deal with this? And, now I'm the person that, I just have to answer questions of why I didn't say anything. Well, because it was really difficult because she was, yelling and she was shutting people down. And, where do you even start with that conversation? But that's how they handled it.
Do you think she'll come back?
Yes, Whoopi will 100% come back.
2 weeks.
Yep, 2 weeks.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Rihanna announces officially, recognizes officially on Instagram. She posted her first baby bump shot.
How'd I miss this?
On her own Insta.
Hold on. Bad
Gal
Riri. Okay.
Bad girl Riri. Yeah.
How the gang pull up to Black History Month. That's the caption. And it's 4 slides. The first one is just her. It looks like in the bathroom. Her bathroom.
Yeah.
Holding up her belly. Holding up her shirt to reveal her belly. And then the other 3 pictures are the ones that we all saw that got posted the other day with her and A$AP Rocky.
Right. Now, is this true? Hold on. So can somebody find me this?
What?
Hold on here.
What?
I got to find this thing from Forbes magazine that had A$AP Rocky trending.
What is it?
No, hold on here.
Is it going to make fun of the guy?
No.
Laughing at him for something he wore?
No. It was not even really acknowledging. Hold on here. Can somebody find that for me while I sort of go through something else here? Because the story, like Local Man was trending, and I just don't know if that was a tweet or if they just sort of dismissed originally A$AP Rocky as something, because I think it may be.
Like he was like the
yeah,
lucky peasant?
yeah. Like
They
I
got
don't-
together with the
yeah.
queen?
I'm trying to find because everybody was like going in on this yesterday. How Forbes did A$AP Rocky dirty. See if you can find that for me. You guys looking for that? Did you find something, Maury? What'd you find? Anything?
I'm just confirming with Shem if I found something good.
Okay. Just confirming with Shem whether you found something good. Does it look good? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Just confirming if I found something good.
Yeah, it's a picture of a hamburger.
Yeah.
I found that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, in the article, Forbes magazine, the writer writes, "Our angel Rihanna and local man."
Oh no!
Come on. Come on.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
This is Jeff Zucker resigned from CNN yesterday. I don't know if you saw that. This is all part of the.
I never heard of that guy
Okay, so he runs CNN.
Okay.
And
yeah, I didn't know that
for a while.
until yesterday.
So Andrew Cuomo was a governor in New York, right? And then he got embroiled in his sex scandal. And then his brother, Chris Cuomo, got embroiled in his own at CNN and then also accused of helping his brother out and insider information and all this stuff. And then when Chris Cuomo was on his way out, he decided to basically like burn the whole place down. So during his kind of depositions into all the investigations, I guess he said like a whole bunch of stuff. And then that led to CNN President Jeff Zucker resigning because he didn't disclose a relationship to the company that he was having with an employee. So it is like this massive.
Cuomo was like, wow, you want to talk about me? Talk about this, and this.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
A source close to Pamela Anderson says that the new show on Hulu and Disney Plus, Pam and Tommy, is, quote, there's a sense that this show is re-exploiting Pamela. They say after the tape was made public, it was a very traumatizing situation, and it's unfair that she is being re-subjected to this trauma, like reopening a wound. Pamela deserves a level of respect. She's a human being and a mom. There's a sense of hypocrisy about it. It's her life, and she should have the decision as to whether it's turned into commodity for public consumption. They go on to say that this was a very traumatic time in Pam's life. She's a really good person, and I think all she's ever really wanted was to be married and have a partner and have a nice life. So if you remember at the time, so have you watched the show yet?
I didn't watch it yet.
You haven't watched it yet?
Is it good? Did you saw it?
I watched 2 episodes last night. Yeah.
Oh, it's a full-out show. I thought it was a movie.
No, it's a full-out. It's 8 episodes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Seth Rogen's really good in it. So it's the story of
Sebastian Stan plays Tommy Lee.
And Lily James, Cinderella, which is really weird.
I know. Don't say that.
Plays Pam Anderson. It's an interesting show because this was the sort of first celebrity sex tape. And the difference with this one compared to the other ones is people realized what it could do for a career, becoming notorious in that way. And so a lot of the other ones that have been released have been staged, you know what I mean? Or for the purposes of publicity, where this was in a giant, like 500-pound safe in their house that a contractor stole.
Right.
And they were going to release it on the internet. And so Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee were forced to cut a deal and accept money for it because they couldn't stop it. They weren't allowed to stop it. So it was you either...
Even though it was their property.
Even though it was their property. So you were either going to sit there and get nothing and have it everybody in the world see it, or you were going to get something and have everybody in the world see it. And so they were basically forced to cut a deal. The show it's very well done. Like the show's funny.
Yeah?
Seth Rogen is really good in it. But I fully see how this is re-traumatizing for Pam Anderson and not at all Tommy Lee, although Tommy Lee comes off awful in this.
Really?
Not that
How
he
long
should
are the
not,
episode? Are they
like
long?
like they're long episodes,
full
like
1 hour
full
episodes?
yeah,
Wow.
they're like full episodes, right?
Oh, okay.
He does not come off well at all, but nor really should he for a lot of the things that he's done. But I think that, maybe he's changed too, and that is what it is. But there's a lot of nudity, prosthetic nudity, like Tommy Lee prosthetic nudity.
Oh, sounds like you analyzed.
It's impossible to not analyze because
Did you stand up like close to the TV, like press pause?
no. Like the prosthetic nudity on Tommy Lee is also like CGI / animatronic where they have a conversation together.
What?
Okay, then.
Does that ruin it?
Does it ruin it? No.
Wow.
In a weird way, no. But yes, they have
Technology, huh?
they have dialogue. They have dialogue.
Could you imagine the person that came up with the tech to make that happen? Like originally, like back in the day,
Right.
would have no idea that their tech would lead to this.
Yes.
In 2022.
And just for the fact checkers out there, if you think that that sounds ridiculous and made up, some of the stuff in this show is, of course, accurate. Other stuff they do
The
create.
talking to it is accurate?
The talking to it is directly from Tommy Lee's biography that he wrote.
No.
It's from his memoir.
Wow, facts
that,
on
that-
facts.
that he has conversations with it. But in this, they actually bring that to life. It's like Baby Yoda. Right? You know,
no, don't say that. No. Come on, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Whoopi Goldberg is apparently livid after she was suspended from The View over her claim that the Holocaust was not about race, and is telling her coworkers, this according to the New York Post, that she may quit the show. They say she feels humiliated.
Her co-workers is in like the other
The
hosts?
co-hosts,
The
yeah.
co-hosts, wow.
So she feels ABC executives mishandled this. She followed their playbook, they say. She went on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert and then apologized again on The View the next day. Her ego has been hurt, and she's telling people she's going to quit. Her suspension from The View is like getting suspended from Bravo. They say the bar is very low. So yesterday on The View, when they started the show, they really made very little mention of the fact that Whoopi was suspended. And I had originally thought that maybe that the panelists were pissed at Whoopi, but I think that they're just pissed at ABC. So here's how they started The View yesterday.
Now, let's get things started.
Good morning and welcome to The View. You all saw the news. Whoopi will be back here in 2 weeks. Okay. Tara Setmayer has returned to guest co-host. So let's
just
get
like
to Hot
that,
Topics,
right?
ladies.
So you think they're staying like in solidarity with,
I guess,
with
yeah,
Whoopi?
yeah.
As
So-
opposed to being pissed and like, she did what she did, she said what she said, we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. So Anna Navarro told the Daily Beast, I love Whoopi Goldberg. I love The View. This was an incredible, unfortunate incident. Whoopi is a lifelong ally to the Jewish community. She is not an anti-Semite, period. I am sad, and I have nothing else to say. It's unpaid as well, apparently. Whoopi's 2-week suspension. She gets $5 million per year, and I guess the Daily Mail is reporting that she will lose out on $192,000 over the next 2 weeks.
She can buy groceries.
Anthony Anderson, friend and comic of friend of Whoopi Goldberg's and fellow comic, is sticking up for Whoopi. So this is Anthony Anderson on Whoopi's comments and suspension.
Something I just read, so I don't know what the context of it was. I do know that she apologized, and I don't believe there was any malice, or she spoke from a place of malice. But you know, sometimes we say things in the heat of the moment that we may not be informed fully about, and what happens. And but as long as a person can acknowledge that and admit if they made a wrong or did a wrong and apologize for that wrong, I think that's fine. And we can apologize if we said anything that offended someone, especially if we didn't mean it. I think all should be forgiven.
See, what the problem is that on that panel and on that show, they have, regardless of other people's apologies, have lobbied for them to lose everything. Right. That's
So you can't go back on that
That's
now.
the problem. That's the problem. You can't now say, hey, listen, she apologized. Why aren't we just moving on? Because this show in particular is a show that does not really move on that frequently from things. So I don't know whether Whoopi's going to quit or not. I think that maybe she's just, you're hurt and, all this other stuff. You did all the things that they told you to do and then you still get suspended. It sucks.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, so Nick Cannon, there was a weird thing because Nick Cannon had to, Jesus, man.
What?
So Nick Cannon had to explain his celibacy. Nick Cannon had 5 kids in a year and a half. It was just announced that he was at a gender reveal party over the weekend, which would be his 8th child with a woman. So this is with Brie Tiesi, who is the
a new woman
expecting
or
mother.
like a woman that he had a baby with already?
So this is a new woman.
Okay.
So in October, Nick said that he was going to chill out and stick to celibacy, vowing to, quote, try to be the best father I can be and be the best businessman I can be. So that was back in October. And then last weekend, everybody was like, yo, you're at another gender reveal party for another baby. What happened to the celibacy?
The math don't add up.
Okay, so yesterday on Nick's show, he's forced to clarify like the timeline of his celibacy.
What's going on with the celibacy?
So, clearly. No, because obviously I had the celibacy challenge like when we started. I'm glad you mentioned that because one of the reasons I couldn't say, or I just didn't choose to say it then, but my therapist was one of the ones who said I should probably be celibate. And the reason why is because I had shared that news about, you know, Bree being pregnant, and it was like, yo, I don't know what to do. I felt like I was trying to get a grasp. I was like, I have a new show coming out. And then that was the reason why I started my celibacy journey back then.
It all makes sense.
So for anybody who's thinking like, oh, he wasn't celibate, I was.
No, I did the math.
I was dealing with
because you said that in October.
Yeah.
And so how far along is Bree?
If I'm thinking correctly, I think it's close to like 20 weeks.
Okay, so you didn't break your celibacy.
This is why, because I was like, yo, I got to get my life under control because I felt like I was out of control, and honestly, that celibacy did help me through the journey of getting one with myself, being able to deal with this. And so now everybody knows why I was actually being celibate.
Okay. So he was being celibate because he got somebody else pregnant. Right?
Oh, Nick Cannon.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. And now it's time for Ask Roz and Mocha.
We welcome Adil to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. What is your question for everybody?
I wanted to know if Maurie can try Oreos dipped in pickle juice.
Oreos dipped in pickle juice.
Now, is this something that you've done or you do currently?
No, I actually saw this trend on TikTok, and I know Maurie loves trying crazy food challenges.
I'm all about, because if other people are doing it, I just want to see what the big fuss is about.
Okay, so we're we are set up here. Maury went downstairs just before we started this and grabbed Oreos and what was it, pickle juice?
Yeah, I have 2 jars of pickle juice.
Okay, so Mocha, you're going to get in on this too.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Here for in this bag?
Where do you find?
It's Russian pickle juice.
So hold on a second here. Is that just a jar of pickle juice? Like it's not pickles?
No. This is a jar of Russian pickle juice.
Look at this.
Oh my God, this is my worst nightmare. This is so good.
Yeah.
250 mil. That's a lot of pickle
not
juice.
easy to find.
But what are you supposed to do with that? What do you
People drink this. It's very good for your digestion.
You can't even say the word digestion.
But not the pronunciation, right? It's fantastic for digestion, horrible for pronunciation.
Okay, so...
Yeah, okay, so Maury, pour a little bit into your glass, your pickle juice into your glass. Mocha's going to do the same. There we go. Okay, so you guys
Oh,
both
God,
have,
it smells.
Like what? Like pickles? Okay, so you both have that. Oh, Mocha, don't go so hard, man. Come on now.
Oh, man.
It smells so bad?
Yeah.
Does it smell like pickles?
Yeah, but even more sour.
Really? Okay. Now, when we say dunk, give it a dunk and a swish and a dunk and a swish.
To let it absorb.
Okay, so, Maury, you're going to go first on this, okay?
Okay, can I dunk and swish?
Yeah, go. So, Maury, dunk it all in there, all the way to the fingers.
Oh, my
all the
God.
way to the fingers. Keep it in there.
But the white stuff's absorbing it.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, now the whole thing goes in your mouth.
Oh, God.
What?
Oh, my God. It's mushy and it tastes like sock.
Yeah.
Oh. There is no more cookie taste.
No, it's just all. I imagine that the pickle juice is just so overpowering that it would completely take over even
it really stinks, guys.
It really does. Okay, Mocha. So same thing. You're gonna dip. You're gonna put it in all the way up to the fingers, and then you're gonna swish it around. Leave it in there for just a couple of minutes, and then when you pull it out, you're gonna stick the whole thing in your mouth.
Okay.
Okay. The Mocha's going in for a second dip. Look at that. Okay, all the way down to the fingertips. Okay, now drip it off.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get that last drop, pop it in your mouth. Go for it.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So bad.
Oh.
It's terrible.
Oh. Yo. This is so gross.
It's really bad.
Come on.
It's
like
really
the
bad?
cookie.
It's really, really bad.
Yeah, like the cookie.
Yeah.
After all that night, it just became like ultra soft.
Yeah. Are you just letting it dissolve in your mouth, or are you actually trying to chew?
It dissolves on its own.
Yeah, it really does. This is so bad.
I didn't think it was even going to be that bad.
Okay, now we have to drink a bit of this, right?
Mocha's spitting now. Okay, Mocha
Ew,
is...
just swallow.
Mocha is just spat it all out into a plastic bag.
Is so gross.
Okay. So, wow. I did not think that was going to... You guys, I thought, have had way worse things
that's
than
really
that.
bad.
Really,
Oh,
huh?
Dill.
Mocha, wash some of it down with the
Okay,
juice.
Maury, go ahead. Drink the rest of that if you can.
Don't.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, okay. He tried. It went right back in the cup.
Oh, it's warm.
That was in your mouth for, I would say, like 10
Oh.
seconds before you could spit it out, right?
Oh, that is vile.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
so
pickles.
gross.
It's pickle juice. Yeah.
Anyway,
there
there you go, Adele. Thanks.
All right. Take care. Thanks for the suggestion, man. That's real great.
All right, Katie asks this question. What is the first thing you do when you check into a hotel?
Oh, God.
First of all, I love staying at hotels.
What's the first thing I do when I check into a hotel? I will, the first thing I do is I open up all the blinds. And that's just sort of the way it goes. I throw my suitcase on, if they have like a luggage holder, I'll throw it on there. If not, I throw the suitcase on the bed. And I do not unpack. If I have a suit with me because I'm working, then the only thing I do is I take the suit out and the suit hangs in the closet. And then I go from the closet to the minibar.
Similar to you, the first thing I do is I want to see the view from the room. So I will open
I'm
up
drinking within 2 minutes of being in a hotel room.
Really?
Yeah.
I will open up the curtains, and then I will check out the bathroom.
Yep.
And then I will start unpacking.
Do you put stuff in drawers in hotels?
I do.
You do not.
I do.
Dude, that's so dangerous.
Is it? Why?
I never.
Really?
I'm terrified I'm going to leave something. I
no.
never use the
I
drawers.
start unpacking everything, like my carry-on, like whatever stuff I have.
Really,
I start
huh?
unpacking all my clothing and my luggage. I will start taking it all out.
Really?
Yeah, and I put them away in drawers, and then I will take all my luggage and put them in the closet.
And even so if I go, if I'm doing stuff for work, so I have my hair dryer, I got my hair stuff, I got makeup, all this other stuff. Like everything's in a big sort of kit bag, right? So if I go into the bathroom, like if I'm getting ready, I'll go in, do my hair, do my makeup, brush my teeth, all that stuff. I pack everything back up in the makeup bag and put the makeup bag back in my luggage.
Really?
I don't even leave it in the bathroom.
No, I unpack all my toiletries.
Really?
Everything
you
is out there
move
on
in?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, this is my spot now for the next however long.
Wow.
Completely.
Yeah, no, I don't move in. Maury?
Don't worry.
I do what Mocha does as well. First, I check out the view. Then I also unpack everything. Then I go and put all my toiletries on like whatever shelf there is. I like to see what kind of products they have. I also put some of those in my luggage so that the next time I go down, I could say, I'm sorry, there was no shampoo in the room. If you can, I'm not in the room if you want to put some in there.
So I'm drinking within 2 minutes. You're lying within one. Right? Yeah. God
Shem,
damn.
the times that you've traveled?
One of the first things I'll do is I personally take up all the sheets and off the bed just because I'm always super paranoid that I'm going to see something that I don't want to see in the sheets.
Like a bug or a stain?
Well, it could be both.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Cool.
I try not to. And then then I go to then I look in the bathroom, look at the tub, same exact thing, and then I have sex. I'm with somebody.
Please.
So that's what I do.
Yeah, me. Sorry. Yeah, I meant to add that to my list too.
Rayman46 asks, do you prefer Miracle Whip or mayonnaise on your sandwich?
First of all, nobody eats Miracle Whip.
I can't remember the last time I had Miracle Whip.
Nobody eats. No.
That's a fake mayo, right?
Yeah, it's salad dressing
Yeah.
spread that you put on a sandwich. But it was always cheaper than mayonnaise, right?
sure.
And I grew up, my ma only ever used to use Miracle Whip on everything. And I grew up for the first, I would say I was about 9 or 10. And I only knew tuna sandwiches made with Miracle Whip, right? And I love tuna sandwiches. And I was out one time and I was starving and my mom was like, okay, well, we'll just grab you a sandwich. And we were out somewhere. We found like a deli And she grabbed me a sandwich, and it was a tuna sandwich. And it was as if I ate tuna for the very first time in my life. I couldn't understand why this was the best tuna sandwich I ever had. And I kept asking my mom, I'm like, why does this taste different? Why does this taste different? And she was like, it's the exact same thing that we make at home. It's the exact same bread. It's the exact same everything. And it was years later until I realized the difference between, I thought Miracle Whip and mayonnaise was just two different names of the same product.
Right.
I didn't realize that they tasted so different. And now I realize that I spent so much of my life eating tuna with Miracle Whip as opposed to mayo.
On the label, the Miracle Whip label,
Yeah.
it says the one-of-a-kind taste of creamy mayo and tangy dressing.
Yeah.
But I guess it's lighter. Maybe that's why people prefer it, because the actual mayo is made with egg. It's thicker.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Miracle Whip is thick. Like Miracle Whip is
But
thick.
compared Yeah, it really to mayo. is.
Yeah, it's thick.
Uh-huh.
It's still thick.
Oh,
thick,
man.
thick. People are going to slow this down. I know it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's so thick.
Wow. David
Yeah.
Maury, do you prefer Miracle Whip or mayo? on your
Mayonnaise.
sandwich?
1000% mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah.
I use mayonnaise on everything.
Oh, it's always mayo.
Yeah.
Always mayo.
Did you guys ever have Miracle Whip growing up, though, or is that just me?
Yeah, I actually, we used to have like mayo and ketchup. Like I used to mix that together. And
Yeah,
put that
that's
on
fine.
fries,
But you never
right?
had Miracle Whip, though.
Oh God, no.
No. Maury,
My
did you
dad
guys-
was all about Miracle Whip because
Was
it's
he?
cheaper.
Yeah. We used to also, my mom used to buy margarine. Sorry, it wasn't even margarine. It was called bargarine, which was
bargain
It
margarine?
was bargarine, which was, they said it was some like hybrid combo between actual butter and margarine. So it was called bargarine. But she used to buy this used to come in a Tupperware, like a hard plastic container. And when I tell you the size that it fit, it took up an entire shelf in the fridge, okay? It would.
Stop it.
I'm not even joking. Okay, this container that it would come in was as big as a shoebox
What? A margarine?
of margarine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it was, but it never quite got hard. Like, you know, put butter in the fridge, it goes hard.
Yeah.
Right. Margarine does not at all. This was sort of like, again, an in between stage where you could still spread it. And we would get in so much trouble. Like, you have no idea how much trouble we'd get into, because my brother would come home from school and he would make toast, and he would just open the top of the margarine box and take a piece of toast and scrape it across the top of the box of margarine. Right?
So it left crumbs in there.
Crumbs everywhere. Right? Like everywhere. And he got in so much trouble for doing that. But yeah, that's what we had.
How much was a tub of margarine? Can you remember?
Realistically, I'm going to
Yeah.
guess under $5.
Really?
Yeah.
For a massive tub like that?
Massive tub of margarine.
Do you remember,
Under $5.
Do you remember my dad was all about Country Crock? Do you remember Country Crock?
Yeah, Country Crock was
Wasn't that
another one.
butter?
Yeah,
Or
it was
wasn't
like
butter?
it was like a butter-ish thing.
Yeah, it was
margarine.
not margarine and it was not butter.
Yeah, Country Crock.
Wow.
Is what they didn't call it anything. It was just like Country Crock.
And I can't believe it's not butter.
And then there was that.
What was that?
I can't.
Not
I don't
butter.
know. Who knows what it was?
Yeah, can't believe it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Grace says here, how do you eat cereal? Pour cereal in a bowl, then add milk, or pour milk first and then add the cereal?
Oh, the first one.
Yeah. Cereal,
It's always
then
that
milk.
way, because that way you never know how much cereal you're going to need, so you don't want to put too much milk. Plus, if the cereal's there first, it won't float around as much.
Yeah. Like, I think my kid read somewhere that like this was a debate, and now she only puts milk in first.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah.
I've tried both ways.
Yeah, she's like, it's just how I do it. I'm
I
like, "No, it's
prefer cereal than milk.
Do you know Matthew, my husband, microwaves the bowl after he adds the milk?
Why?
He doesn't like the milk to be too cold, so he puts it in the microwave.
He likes warm milk and cereal?
Yeah.
My dad used to. Actually, both my parents used to do that.
Really?
When I was a kid and they gave me cereal, yeah. Pour the milk into the bowl.
Yeah.
Put the bowl in the microwave. Let the milk warm up, and then pour cereal on top.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Or
I never heard of such a thing.
milk in a cup, microwave it up, and then pour on top of the cereal.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird. He microwaves the cereal too. He put the cereal, then the milk.
The cereal as well?
Yeah, and he
Oh,
puts it
that's
in there
weird.
for like
Oh,
20
no, no.
seconds.
I haven't had cereal probably in about like a bowl of cereal
Mm-hmm.
over 20 years.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We have it as a midnight snack all the time.
Yeah. Catherine, as an adult, still eats cereal. I do not.
What kind does she have at home? Do you know?
I don't know, man. Like some Panda Puff thing that she gets.
Oh, she
I
gets the
don't
healthy
know.
ones.
Like, yeah.
What do you guys have,
Or
Maury?
cinnamon checks. They eat a lot of cinnamon checks.
I love
too.
checks, but we
Yeah,
do Life
yeah.
Brand.
Yeah.
We love life.
Like 80-year-olds.
Yeah.
Miss Finsta says here, does Damn It Maury watch the show Hot in Cleveland, or does that ruin the Golden Girls for him? Have any of you ever loved or hated an actor's performance or character so much in a certain show or movie that watching them in anything else after that was difficult? Damn It Maury. So the first
I've never watched Hot in Cleveland. I watched like one episode and I didn't really care for it, but it never ruined anything about Betty White. Because I watched Maude, which was B. Arthur's first show, and then watched Golden Girls, and I thought that her performance in Maude was but I loved her in Golden Girls.
Sometimes you sound so old, Maury. Like, it's incredible.
I'm answering a damn question.
I know, but you're
like,
out of all the questions, you're like real passionate about this one, which makes you sound super old.
Like, you have opinions about Maude.
I have no idea what you're talking about, too.
You know what I mean?
Maude was her name. It was a spin-off of All in the Family.
Shem, you were shaking your head, yes.
So, actually, this is actually quite recent, and I know it might not be super popular. Kirsten Bell, in that damn news show, with women in the house across the street from the whatever, I hated that entire thing.
You didn't like the show at all?
I hated it completely.
Did you?
I
Really?
And I love Kirsten Bell. I love The Good Place. I think she's fabulous. I love her and Dax Shepard.
Yeah.
I hated
What did you hate about it?
Everything. Because like you said, I didn't know what I was watching.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was a comedy. If it was, it wasn't funny at all.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was supposed to be serious. And if it was, again, didn't really get that impression from it. I just felt like after 7 episodes or 8 episodes, what the hell did I just watch?
I loved it, except for the very last episode. I loved everything except for how they ended it.
It pissed me off.
Like when it's all sort of revealed kind of thing.
I
That's what you didn't
hated
like?
the reveal. I hated. How do I
Don't say none. I didn't watch it yet. So don't spoil anything.
Okay, I hated the reveal. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. But hold on a second here. So close your ears for just 1 sec, Mocha.
Damn it.
Close
Okay.
your, no. I'm going to say anything. The one thing that I did like about it, right? That ending, Maury, is that they set this up as far as like a puzzle that you're trying to, figure out as an audience member, and like a whodunit, is she going crazy? What's happening? Everything else. And then it's one of those things where you get to the end and you're just like, oh yeah, so it is the title then, right?
Oh crap! I never even thought of that till you just said that.
You know what I mean?
I didn't even realize because I didn't even put 2 and 2
That's
together.
what I loved. That's what I loved.
I hated that was who did it.
Yeah, but of course, right? Like that's sort of what I loved about it.
I get it. I get it.
Oh, I never even thought of that. Wow, you're so smart. How did you figure that out?
I read the title. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Safe to come back in now?
Yes.
All right. We have. Okay. We'll end on this, and I feel like the answer is going to be very quick.
Sorry, Mocha, I need a second.
Did you just put TH in second?
He sure did.
That's weird. I've never
You
heard
missed what
somebody
Roz
say
said, but it was
that.
damn funny.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll listen to it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Parna says here, would you rather smell poop forever or smell like poop forever?
I would
feel
rather
like-
smell poop because then nobody thinks I smell like poop.
But the problem with this is, regardless, you're going to live the rest of your life smelling poop.
Let me put a caveat on there, okay? You either smell poop forever or you smell like poop forever but can't smell it.
Oh.
Wait, but the way Mocha read it, presumably you smell of it and you smell it.
But then
because
you,
it's on you.
both. But basically,
That's
what
what
they're
I'm
saying is,
saying.
would you like to smell poo forever?
And the answer is no.
The answer is no. But let's say, would you like to have really rancid poo smell in your nose at all times?
Oh.
Okay, or would you rather smell like rancid poo but just not be able to
Does
smell
the
it?
poo smell in your nose change, or is it always consistent?
No.
No, it's
Poo is
just
poo, man.
just poo smell. Poo
Okay.
smell.
I would rather, I feel like I could probably get away with smelling like poo and not being able to, because if anyone question, I can just say like a medical thing.
No, but then you're never gonna like have you'll never have
But
sex
like
again.
you will just always reek like hot feces,
Oh,
right?
man.
I'd rather it be in my nose.
no.
You get used to it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking,
Because think about people who shovel poo for a living.
No, but like,
But even still, like everything you eat, like everywhere you go,
It ruins all of that.
It would ruin everything. Like
But
when the
then
wind blows, right? Like you're outside and a gust of wind hits you in the face. That is all just
Can I
going
tell
to
you
be
where
feces.
both scenarios ruins it for you?
Yeah.
Is when you have to be intimate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Because you can't try to be intimate with someone and all you smell inside your nose is poo.
No.
And then how are you going to feel trying to get intimate with someone when all they smell is poo?
Right. But
That's
here's
not sexy.
Right. But here's the difference is that you could live a life, okay, if you only smelled poo, right? You could live that life.
You can't get into nightclubs if you smell like poo.
It would be very difficult for you to live a life if you smelled like poo.
They won't let you into restaurants.
Right? Like you could still go about your day ruined, right? Granted, ruined, if all you smelt was poo. It would be extremely difficult for you to do normal things, right? Imagine you at a funeral. Right? Like you would just look so disrespectful showing up to a funeral smelling like that.
You don't even
right?
clean
like,
yourself.
yeah, right? Like how dare you? You know? Like you know, you're gonna go to at some
Like the
point,
guy in the coffin smells better than you.
Yeah, like at some point your boy's gonna be on stage at some school play and you're gonna be the parent that sits there, right? Proud of your son, and you're all anybody's gonna talk about, right? Or what about when friends start coming over to the house and like a friend walks by you and you know the filter the kids have, it's non-existent, right? And they're just gonna like talk about how much you stink.
And then when they go to school,
Yeah,
Cruz's dad smells like poo.
yeah, exactly, right? Like you can't.
And then I become poo dad.
Yeah, you
at
can't
school.
live a life reeking like poo. You just
All
can't.
right, so poo in the nose then,
Yeah, everybody. I'm taking poo in the nose.
All right, thanks for that disgusting question, Parna. Thank you for all of your questions. Keep them coming in. Ask Roz and Mocha appears on Instagram at Kiss925 every week, and this is where we get the questions from. Thank you for listening. This has been the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.